This is Retro Sports Radio. Visit RetroSeasons.com for more sports history.
The Cincinnati Reds faced the Oakland A's at Oakland-Alameda County Coliseum for Game 5 of the 1972 World Series on October 20th. The A's led the best-of-7 series 3-1. This is the NBC radio broadcast of Game 5, featuring announcers Jim Simpson and Al Michaels.
Well, the gentleman to my right, with whom I have worked in Sapporo, Japan, and on the World Series, is the voice of the Cincinnati Reds. And his team is down 3-1, and obviously he's got some thoughts about that. Here's Al Michaels.
Thank you, Jim, and hi, everybody. And, of course, the Reds have their backs to the wall today. They need a win today, and then a win tomorrow if we go back to Cincinnati, and a win again on Sunday in Game 7 to take it all. And they'd become one of the few teams in World Series history to do it if they could come back from a 3-1 deficit. Just to review what's happened in the World Series so far, Saturday, Game 1 at Cincinnati, Gene Tenace hit 2 home runs to account for all the scoring. Ken Holtzman, Raleigh Fingers, and Vida Blue held the Reds to a pair of runs, and the A's won Game 1 3-2, with Holtzman getting the win, Gary Nolan taking the loss. Then, on Sunday, today belonged in good measure to Catfish Hunter and Joe Rudy, as the A's made it 2 in a row at Riverfront Stadium, beating the Reds 2-1. Rudy hit a home run, which was the deciding run. It came in the 3rd inning. Hunter, meanwhile, pitched 8 shutout innings, gave up a run in the 9th inning, and then Raleigh Fingers came on to get the save. Final score was Oakland 2, Cincinnati 1. Monday was a scheduled off day. Tuesday, of course, Game 3 was scheduled, and we were right up till game time when it started to rain. The game was postponed because of wet grounds, and Game 3 was played on Wednesday night. And the Reds picked up their only victory in the World Series, scoring a run in the 7th inning, and back of Jack Billingham and Clay Carroll, the Reds blanked the A's 1-0. Blue Moon Odom was the losing pitcher. Then yesterday, game number 4, last night, and the A's, with 2 runs in the 9th inning, came from behind to beat the Reds 3-2. And they did it with 1 out, bases empty. Gonzalo Marquez came up, singled to center. Gene Tenace singled to left. Then 2 pinch hitters, Don Mincher and Angel Mangrel, came up, and each on the first pitch singled. Mincher tying the game, Mangrel winning the game, and the A's had a dramatic 3-2 victory. Today would have been Gary Nolan's turn for the Reds, except Gary has been bothered through the latter part of the season with a sore shoulder and arm, and so Nolan cannot make it to the post today. Gary is finished for the 1972 season. He will not pitch again in the World Series, and the next time Nolan will pitch will be in Florida in the spring of 1973. So instead of risking it with Gary Nolan, who is unable to make it, and instead of going with Ross Grimsley, who could conceivably pitch today, Sparky Anderson has called on right-hander Jim McGlothlin. If he is like anybody else on the Red staff, he is probably closer to Jack Billingham than any other pitcher. He's a sinker ball pitcher. He's got a good slider. He needs good control, and he needs to keep the ball down like Billingham must. And, of course, Billingham gave a prime example of what he is like at his very best on Wednesday. It was Billingham who went 8 innings. Clay Carroll picked up in the 9th inning, and Jack got the win as the Reds beat the A's 1-0. So McGlothlin is that type of pitcher. He is what you might call sneaky fast or deceptively fast. He is not really a strikeout pitcher. He'll average maybe 6 every 9 innings, but of those 6, 4 or 5 are usually called third strikes. So he is deceptively fast, and of course the Reds are hoping that he's at his best or close to his best today and can work long enough so that even if he's only able to go 5 or 6, Pedro Borbon, Clay Carroll, and Tommy Hall are ready to pick up at a moment's notice. Meanwhile, the Reds are taking a look at Catfish Hunter. They saw enough of Hunter on Sunday, I think, and are hoping that the experience gained from looking at Hunter, watching him for almost the entire game on Sunday, will pay off today. He is a man that very few of the Reds had faced before, and I know some remarks were made by the Reds that they were not impressed with his stuff that much, but we'll see what happens today now that the Reds have had a chance to take a look at Catfish Hunter. If we go to a 6th game, it'll be played tomorrow afternoon at 1 o'clock Eastern Daylight Time at Riverfront Stadium in Cincinnati. Ross Grimsley will pitch for the Reds, and Dick Williams has announced that if there is a 6th game, Vida Blue will get the start tomorrow for Oakland. If the Reds win today and win tomorrow, we then go to a 7th game, which would be played Sunday at Riverfront Stadium. Again, game time, 1 o'clock Eastern Daylight Time. Jack Billingham would start on Sunday in Game 7 for the Reds. It would be Blue Moon Odom for the A's. So far, the series dominated by pitching, dominated by really a lack of hitting on the part of both clubs. As we look at the stats, the Reds have averaged a run and a half and 6 hits for each of the 4 games. The A's, meanwhile, slightly better. They've averaged 2 runs a game. So the Reds have held the A's to 8 runs in 4 games. You find themselves down 3 games to 1 in the World Series. The Reds have been introduced, and they are now set to introduce the Oakland A's with Dick Williams, the manager, taking his place along the third base line. The World Series sold out in Oakland, and I know, Jim, there was some conjecture when the A's beat the Tigers in the American League playoffs. A lot of people were wondering if they would sell out in Oakland, or would it be an embarrassing situation with maybe 40,000. But they were sold out before any of the 3 games started, and they did it in a hurry.
Well, not to underrate the great game of baseball and the obvious attraction the World Series is, but there might be some among those here that would like to say to their children or grandchildren, we sat in on the first professional championship in the history of the San Francisco-Oakland Bay area. That's right. In the game of baseball, the Giants were in a World Series in 1952, but in the game of professional basketball, professional hockey, professional football, there has never been a major championship in the San Francisco-Oakland area. Oakland can pull it off today, Al.
Cafe Hunter going for the A's, Jim McGlothlin for the Reds. As far as hitting is concerned in this series, we talked about the lack of it. There have been a couple of individual standouts, however, for the Reds. Tony Perez, the top hitter, through 4 games. He's 7 for 14. And Johnny Bench has had a good series. Bench is 5 for 14. But the big thing with the Reds, and we've talked about it on each of the broadcasts, the fact that the first 3 men have been unable to get on with any consistency. And you look at the stats, and that's all you have to look at. Pete Rose, the leadoff hitter, 1 for 15. Joe Morgan is 0 for 13. Bobby Tolan is 3 for 16. So Bench and Perez have delivered, but there's been nobody on base when they have. For the A's, their leading hitter in the series, average-wise, would be Dick Green, who is 4 for 11. Joe Rudy has the most hits. He's 5 for 15. Gene Tenace, of course, has 4 hits, and 3 of them have been home runs. He hit only 5 during the regular season. He has 3 in the World Series, 2 on Saturday in Game 1, and 1 yesterday to give the A's a 1-0 lead. Right now, the Oakland Symphony Orchestra, located behind second base, and the national anthem. Symphony, our national anthem, and we'll be back with a lineup for today's game in 1 minute. Hello, I'm Johnny Bench. Dan Colin's your wife. Good possibility. The ball game, a third baseman.
It is a public service by the Department of Transportation's National Highway Safety Bureau.
life is to yourself, mostly. You find yourself and you find your own hang-ups and you try to correct them. Actually grow up is what it boils down to.
See your Navy man about getting somewhere soon. Today's Navy helps you be what you want to be, right now. The Navy is for guys who like to travel.
I've been 2/3 around the world 3 times. So I hit Brazil, then we came back up past the equator, we hit Africa, went all the way around the Cape, hit Madagascar, hit Ethiopia, Pakistan, Bombay, India, Portugal, most every country you can think of. I've got a great education from traveling.
See your Navy man about seeing the world. Today's Navy helps you be what you want to be, right now.
The lineup for today's game for the Cincinnati Reds: Pete Rose leading off in left field. Joe Morgan at second base. Bobby Tolan hitting third in center. Johnny Bench in the cleanup spot, catching. At first base, Tony Perez batting fifth. Dennis Menke at third base. Cesar Geronimo in right field. Geronimo hitting seventh. Darryl Cheney, the shortstop. And Jim McGlothlin pitching. First ball being thrown out, back of the A's dugout now by the president of the American League, Joe Cronin. The lineup for the A's: Bert Campaneris at shortstop, leading off. Matty Alou in right field. Joe Rudy in left field, hitting third. Mike Epstein at first base. Sal Bando at third base. George Hendrick in center, batting sixth. The catcher, Gene Tenace. Dick Green at second. Right-hander Jim Catfish Hunter pitching. Bob Engel of the National League is the plate umpire. Bill Haller of the American at first. Chris Pelakoutis of the National at second. Jim Honachek of the American League at third. Mel Steiner, National, down the left field line. Frank Dumont, American, on the right field line. The Oakland A's take the field. If you like collecting things, why not try something with a sure payoff? United States Savings Bonds. You can buy bonds right now through the payroll savings plan. It's easy, it's painless, and it's sure. A few dollars out of each paycheck soon adds up to a lot, and along with your nest egg, you'll collect peace of mind. Start buying U.S. savings bonds now. Join payroll savings. Catfish Hunters. Crafty. Fellow won 21 games this year, 21-7 with the A's. Their big winner, making his way to the mound. Seems to pitch well when the pressure is on, and certainly it's on today. He's got a chance to nail down the World Championship for the Oakland A's as they try to win it in 5. And they'll try to keep the Reds, the first 3, especially off the base paths, as Hunter, Holtzman, Blue, Fingers, and the rest, Blue Moon Odom, they've done it all series long. But the Reds with different ideas, trying to bounce back, trying to send the World Series back to Cincinnati for a 6th game tomorrow. Hunter against McGlothlin, and for the play-by-play at the start of today's 5th game of the World Series, Jim Simpson.
Thanks, Al. Hunter, the second game, worked 8 2/3 innings, only gave up 1 run, 6 hits, struck out 6, and walked 3. In the playoffs against Detroit, he started both the first and fourth games, got no decisions, had 15 1/3 innings pitched, allowed only 2 runs, 10 hits, and a 1.17 earned run average. So just a little bit more than a run in 2 games against Detroit and the 1 against Cincinnati on the average. Pete Rose prepares to stand in as we pause 10 seconds for station identification.
Serving you from Fort Clayton and Fort Davis. This is SCN Radio at 790 and 1420.
Jim Simpson with Al Michaels back in Oakland, top of the first. 5th game of the series. Rose batting left-handed against the right-handed Hunter. Had the only hit among the Rose, Morgan, Tolan trio, the top 3 in the Reds batting order when they met last Sunday. Catfish Hunter swings on the first pitch. Rose does, sends a lead deep. The right field is looking up, and it is a home run. nothing, Cincinnati. Well, as Al told you, both Mr. and Marquez last night swung on the first pitch to win the ball game in the last of the ninth inning. And Al Rose starts off swinging on the first pitch and hitting a home run.
That's a key, of course, it's a key thing to hit the first pitch of the game for a home run, but especially so, Jim, because the Reds were a very down ball club last night and this morning. Very down.
Joe Morgan, 0 for 13, steps in, and there's the strike. Warren Spahn used to have a saying that applies to catcher's hunters. That is, the plate is 17 inches wide, 15 inches belongs to the hitter. I'll take the inch on either side. Breaking pitch hit right back to catcher's hunter, who throws him out. That'll bring up Bobby Tolan, whose double last night drove in the only 2 runs that Cincinnati had. Pete Rose has just scored his first run, driven in his first run of the series. Morgan has only scored 1 run, driven in none. He led the majors in runs scored and walks. And Tolan hasn't scored at all yet, but did drive in 2 last night. 1-0 on the Rose home run. Catfish Hunter on the mound, one of the great competitors in the game of baseball, led the American League in percentage of wins, 75% of the games he won. Tolan left-handed sends in, Bandos in on the grass, breaking pitch, misses on the outside corner. Hunter has a fine fastball. But if you want to talk about his pitching, it is controlled. He nips the corner. Ready back with the fastball, swing and a miss. I told him it's 1 ball, 1 strike. Started out Bobby with a breaking pitch that missed, came back with the fastball. 1 ball, 1 strike. Catfish just doesn't like the ball in the middle of the plate, but he got it in the middle of the plate to Pete Rose, and he hit it out of here. Popped up by Tolan. Cabaneras in green. Cabanera says he's got it at the edge of the grass and goes for the second out. Well, Rose started things with a long home run, but Morgan and Tolan have gone weakly, bouncing to the pitcher and popping to the shortstop. And that'll bring up Johnny Bench, again with nobody on. Bench has no RBIs. He led the majors in RBIs. No home runs. He led the majors in home runs. Has 5 hits, but has been forced to lead off an inning 8 times in the previous 4 games. Catfish Hunter throws him the breaking pitch. He's got the outside corner. Strike 1. Bench looking. Tony Perez dealing on deck. A's win it today. It's all over. Cincinnati would love to go back to Cincinnati for Game 6 tomorrow. Fastball just misses on the outside corner. It's 1 ball, 1 strike. The Reds were saying that Hunter did not overwhelm them, but Hunter is not an overwhelming pitcher. He is a competitor, and he hits the edges of the plate. Comes back, and there's 1 foul back over the screen. Back to home plate. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Not a hot day in Oakland at all, nor is it chilly. Temperature in below 60s. It is overcast. The lights have been on for some time. This was scheduled an off day, but the rain out on Tuesday meant that we had to play today. Back with a breaking pitch, and Bench goes down swinging. 1 run on the Rose home run. That was the only hit, no errors, and none left. As we go to the last of the first, Cincinnati 1 and Oakland nothing.
No score. This machine's fixed. Listen to your conscience. You better retire from gambling. If you get off my shoulder, I could get better English on the pinball. You can't retire unless you re-enlist. Oh, stop bugging me. Who wants to retire or re-enlist anyway? Listen, pal, there is no civilian firm, institution, or company that can equal service retirement. I'm young. I can make out. Civilians retire at 65 if they're lucky. That's their gamble. You can retire at 38. Even work on the outside while getting retirement pay. Come on, baby. Score. Score. You're lost. You're tempted. Okay, smart guy. How would you play the game? To win. Re-enlist.
Simpson at the Oakland Coliseum, Game 5 of the 1972 World Series. Reds leading 1-0. Pete Rose is the first pitch of the game over the right center field fence for a home run. But then Catfish Hunter got Morgan on a check swing grounder back to the mound. Bobby Tolan popped out. Hunter then struck out Bench. And now Jim McGlothlin goes to work on Campaneris, Lou, and Rudy, and here's Jim.
McGlothlin 9 and 8 on the year. Last hit 1 scoreless inning on October the 9th. The last time he started, September the 23rd, and he lost the ball game, lasting only 2 1/3 innings. And having been down on the bench so much, one of the most difficult things for any pitchers with no work at all to try to come back and have his control. Campaneris, right-handed batter, hits the first pitch, fouls it out of play off to the right. Menke at third base, well in on the grass for the very speedy Canty Campaneris, who is 3 for 15 in the series. No RBIs, and Campy has scored no runs. He's tried to steal on Johnny Bench once. It was thrown out. Ground ball right back to McGlothlin on the mound, and he throws out Campaneris. That'll bring up Matty Alou. Alou has the distinction of playing in both World Series games played in the San Francisco Oakland Bay area. 1962, he was a member of the San Francisco Giants. Here it is 1972, he is a member of the Oakland Athletics. 1 for 13 in the series. 1-0, the Reds. We are in the last of the first. Big curveball, and that is way outside. That's just not outside. Bench had to reach way out to get the breaking ball. It never came in. They play Alou around to the left, and there's a ground ball to the left side. Changes the shortstop there and throws on and has Alou by Fleming. And has both Campaneris and Alou hitting the ball into the ground. Joe Rudy hitting 3-30. 5 for 15. The last time that Rudy was in the ball game with Jim Catfish Hunter, he hit the home run that won it for Hunter. The other run in that game was driven in by the pitcher, Jim Hunter, who's quite a competitor. Rudy, right-handed batter, 305 during the regular season. McGlothlin, of course, was a former American leaguer with the California Angels. Rudy with a closed stance. They're playing him straight away today, and there's a fastball that catches the outside corner. Normally, they've been playing Rudy pulled around a little bit to the right, but with McGlothlin in there today, they're thinking that Rudy is liable to pull the ball a little bit more. So they're playing him straight away. With 2 outs, Rudy up. Menke has gone back off the edge of the grass at third base. Curveball from McGlothlin misses down low. 1 ball, 1 strike. 1-0 to score. Herb Noren coaching over third base for the A's, and Jerry Adair at first base. Back with the fastball, it's line foul down the right field line and hits off the wall and goes into fair territory where Cesar Geronimo will have to retrieve it off the warning track. Well, McGlothlin is ahead of Rudy. 1 ball, 2 strikes. And now, 2-strike count. Tolan has moved over to right center field and has his arms outstretched looking at Johnny Bench. And it looks as though he's signaling the bench why he was playing him more straight away. Now he has moved to right center field, awakened perhaps by that line drive foul on the right field line. Spikes with a breaking pitch, and Rudy strikes out, and McGlothlin, not having pitched in nearly a month, gets the side 1-2-3. At the end of 1, it's Cincinnati 1 and Oakland nothing. Great.
I work for the post office. I process 32 million pieces of mail a year. And do you know who gets all that mail? Nobody. I run the dead letter office. 32 million pieces of mail going nowhere. Personal letters, Christmas cards, Mother's Day cards, money too. Mail that will be missed. Why does it end up at the dead letter office? Because the address is wrong or illegible, and no return address inside or out. Tomorrow, always include your return address. Then if we can't deliver your mail, we can at least send it back. And always include zip code. Then we're sure to deliver it to the right city and post office the fastest way. Return address and zip code. They could put the dead letter office out of business. Remember, mail moves the country, and zip code moves the mail.
Ready to throw to Perez, who leads everybody and hits in this series. 7 for 14, hitting .500. Big, intimidating right-handed batter. Hunter, right-handed pitcher, throws, and there's a drive down the line in left field. It may make it in the corner. It is bouncing off the wall. Rudy's there, picks it up. Perez is on his way to second. Rudy drops the ball, and into second base goes Perez. First ball hitting. A double for Tony Perez. I didn't even have the chance to say that on Sunday in Cincinnati, Perez intimidated Hunter. He was 2 for 3 plus a walk and scored the only run scored against Catfish Hunter. 1-0 in this game, and now Menke is the batter. He has looked down to Alex Graham, the coach of third base. George Sugar is the Reds coach over at first. Reds trying to get back in the series. They lead 1-0, and they've got a man on here, and that breaking pitch just misses the corner outside. Hunter, known for his control, has made a couple of pitches today that the Reds have jumped all over. Rowe is hitting his first pitch for a home run in the first, and Perez pulling it sharply down the left field line in the third. Back again, this pitch is outside. He has not hit the corner, and it is 2-0. As quick as Mark Anderson might be to go to the bullpen today, manager Dick Williams might be the same. They don't want to go back to Cincinnati. Hunter looks back at Perez, the runner, and is ready and throws, and there's a swinging strike. 2 balls, 1 strike. Now, Menke can hurt you with the long ball on occasion. Hunter has been working him strictly to the outside corner. He missed twice, and that swinging strike was on the outside corner of the plate. Hunter ready. Throws, and there's a bunt up the middle. They'll go to first base as he took a look at third, and the sacrifice works. As Perez moves into third base. Hunter took a quick look, might have had the man, perhaps, at third base, and went for the sure out. Geronimo hitting 0-91, and now Bando's coming on to say something to Hunter, and the infield is talking among themselves. Geronimo 1 for 11, 1 RBI in the series. Left-handed batter. Reds expect great things of this youngster. Part of that big Houston-Cincinnati trade that worked out so well for both teams. Bando's in on the grass. Geronimo's there, swinging at a breaking pitch. Strike 1. Only run of the ball game, the leadoff home run on the top of the first by Pete Rose. Only his second hit of the series, and the first time he'd scored a run or driven in a run. Hunter looking into his catcher, Gene Tenace. Now stares over at Perez at third base, and now throws it, backing it out of there. Fastball, high and inside. It's 1 ball, 1 strike. Geronimo, who's 1 base hit, scored a run, also hit a vicious line drive. Pulling it to right over in Cincinnati, but they nevertheless play him around to the left to hit to the opposite field. Hunter back, and there's the ball popped up down the left field line. Over comes Rudy, still running. In foul territory, has it. Perez snuffs, and now they're 2 out as Perez does not challenge the arm of Rudy. And that'll bring up Darrell Cheney. Cheney 0 for 6 in the series. Switch hitter, bats left-handed, of course, against the right-handed Hunter. Bando is signaling in to Williams in the dugout to see how they're going to play. And this is the way they're going to play. They're going to put Darrell Cheney on and get to the pitcher, McGlothlin. It has been a month since McGlothlin has batted in a ball game. Not a bad hitter for a pitcher, 126 lifetime, has had 3 lifetime home runs. There's ball 3 now to Darrell Cheney. Perez over there at third base. Bando standing right alongside of him. And now ball 4. Cheney takes first with 2 out. Runners at the corners, and here comes the pitcher, Jim McGlothlin. Now Tenace, Bando, and Hunter. And you will find that the A's infield confers quite a bit. They have all kinds of plays, all kinds of contingencies, and they never let anybody just remember what they're supposed to do. They always get together and decide what it is they're going to do. Jim McGlothlin, for example, tried to squeeze home the run and reach base safely that way. McGlothlin, right-handed batter, right-handed pitcher, he's in and ready. 1-0 the Reds. We're on the top of the second. The crowd rather quiet here as the Reds are threatening again, and there's a breaking pitch hit to center field. Hendrick coming on fast, still coming, and he gets there and takes it on a dead run. No runs on, one hit, no errors, and 2 men left. We know now to the last of the second inning, it is still Cincinnati 1 and Oakland nothing.
On the early frontier, distances were great, winters were long, and you could count on your neighbors to help you. Today, things are different, and when you need help, where is the neighbor you can really count on? Who pitches in when there's a catastrophe? Who gets the word to a young serviceman that his daughter has just been born? Who makes sure there's blood when it's needed? Who teaches blind kids to swim? Who does all those things that most other folks never seem to have time for? Well, there's one neighbor close by, your Red Cross volunteer. Now, maybe you haven't got a lot of hours to give to the American Red Cross every month, but think, where do you fit in, neighbor?
Along with Jim Simpson, Al Michaels of the Oakland Coliseum. Reds on top, 1-0. And Jim McGlothlin, who made the last out in the second, Catfish Hunter working out of trouble, gets set to face Epstein, Bando, and Hendrick in the bottom of the second inning. Here again is Jim.
Mike Epstein has been 0 for 10 in the series. He's walked 4 guys. Left-handed batter dropped down in the batting order last night. Against the left-handed Don Gullet. Now again batting cleanup, the spot normally used by Reggie Jackson, the fine slugging center fielder of the A's who was injured in the final game of the playoffs and is out of the series. Epstein ready, and he gets a breaking pitch down low. Ball 1. Bob Engel, you know, everybody has things that they like to remember in their careers and their life. Bob Engel in the National League is working his first World Series game calling balls and strikes in his career. Down low with the pitch, gets 2-0. So Bob Engel will remember this date. October the 20th, 1972. 1-0 the score. Epstein's deep in the batter's box. Looks over the pitches a little bit more than most power swingers, and he looks at that one, and it's just big stay outside. 3-0 to Epstein. Epstein looks down to North. He has a lot of power, led the A's in home runs. Now, fastball, it is too low. McGlothlin misses down low. And so we're talking about, when you've been on the bench for a long time, the ball is the hardest thing to get back. McGlothlin had it in the first. Walked Epstein on 4 pitches. And now Sal Bando, team captain, 3 for 15 in the series. And 2 of those hits last night. That's it. Lead it by a run. Rose's home run. 11th man in World Series history to lead off a game with a home run. The last man to do it was Tommy Agee of the Mets 3 years ago. Down low and out of the strike zone. Low and away. And that's 5 straight pitches in good relief. Pedro Borbon, the sinking fastball pitcher, starts to warm up. A lot of people have the reputation of being the quickest hook in the upper Midwest, the quickest hook in the South. Sparky Anderson will use that hook pretty good today. The Yankees pitcher, if he gets in any kind of control problem. Drive to center field. Bobby Cohen going back toward the warning track. Backs up, is there now, and has it. And Epstein was nearly at second base and must stop back to first. Long drive by Sal Bando. And that will bring up George Hendrick. 1 for 13. Hendrick, the 23-year-old youngster, has scored twice. He's in center field because Reggie Jackson is injured, and he'll get a hand because of the fine job he did with 2 men out and the runners at first and third running when he raced to take McGlothlin's sinking line drive to end the second inning. 1-0 the Reds, 1 out. Epstein at first base. Perez holding him off. The pitch to Hendrick is strike at the knee. Again, then looks into manager Dick Williams. He's right on the top step of that dugout. Head and shoulders protruding out beyond the dugout roof. McGlothlin ready. Throws. Breaking pitch, away and low, 1 ball, 1 strike. Borbon continues to warm. And the Cincinnati bullpen. And now the A's fans come alive a little bit. Their team is down 1-0. As the scoreboard begins to say, go, go, go. McGlothlin is ready for the 1-1 pitch. Fastball. It hits about 2 feet in front of the plate and bounced up to Johnny Bench. 2 balls, 1 strike. McGlothlin takes some of the dirt out of his spike. Yanks on his sleeve, wipes his hand, steps on, and looks into bench. 2 balls, 1 strike. Epstein not particularly fast, but nevertheless they check him over there at first base with a throw to Perez, and Mike was only a few feet off the bat. Larry Hendricks swung around to the right to hit to the opposite field. Here's the pitch, and he hits to the opposite field. Down the right field line. Over comes Geronimo. And it's near the line and foul by about 5 or 6 feet. Geronimo never got through it, but Hendricks laced that ball the opposite way. 2 balls, 2 strikes to George Hendricks. Dean Tenace, who has hit 3 home runs in this World Series, he's on deck. 2-2, McGlothlin staring in. Borbon continuing to work in the bullpen. McGlothlin now ready. Fastball down the middle. It is snuffed up the first base line. McGlothlin comes over, goes to first base, and loses the ball. Everybody's safe. I don't know if he would have had Hendricks or not, but the ball simply slipped out of McGlothlin's hand and bounced to the left of the mound. A base hit. Down at second is Epstein. And here is Dean Tenace. Home run last night. 2 home runs in the first game. Only the second catcher in World Series history to hit 3 in a World Series. And Tenace steps in. The other one, Yogi Berra back in 1956 against the Dodgers. 1-0 Cincinnati. The tying run for the A's down at second base with 1 out. There is the possibility of the double play, and the Reds are looking for it. McGlothlin looks in, throws to Tenace. It's high. Nearly up in the eye. 1 ball. Tenace, right-handed batter. Leans out over the plate. McGlothlin ready. Throws high and away. And it's 2-0 to Tenace. Dick Green on deck as Dennis Menke dashes into McGlothlin. Jim McGloughlin's problem, you could almost anticipate. Perhaps he'll get out of this. Perhaps he'll go all the way. But he has not started a game in nearly a month. He's only pitched 1 inning in nearly a month. And control is something you just don't have every day, even when you pitch in regular rotation. 2-0. McGlothlin is ready. Throws, ball drive, left field. Back goes Lou. It's up. Home run. His 4th of the year. It's 3-1 Oakland. Knowing that McGlothlin was in trouble, he could not get the ball over the plate. Just picked on a McGlothlin fastball and was right down the middle and pulled it. No doubt about it. Rose went to the wall, but it was long gone. And the A's, who can wrap it up today, lead 3-1. And here is Dick Green with 1 out. McGlothlin throws, it popped up behind home plate. Bench takes off his mask, but doesn't give chase as it falls in the seat. Tenace hit 5 home runs all year long. That's his 4th of this World Series. And he won his way into the lineup with his bat. Dave Duncan on the bench is the finer fielding catcher. Curveball misses inside the green. 1 ball, 1 strike. paper has been thrown up and is fluttering down from many portions of the stand. The A's field, perhaps not rightly so, at least their fans do, it's all over. Ground ball, Menke backhand to the third base, goes on over to first, and that's the second out. And that'll bring up Jim Catfish Hunter, who now comes up with a 2-run lead. And in his last 13 games, Hunter has hit safely in 11 of those 13 and carries a .226 lifetime batting average. In the second game of the World Series, he drove in the first run of the ball game with a base hit. So they respect Hunter and play him to pull a little bit, nearly straight away, but shaded ever so slightly toward the left. Breaking pitch catches the outside corner. Tenace has tied a World Series home run for 4 home runs in a series. Brady hit the other 3. Breaking pitch catches the inside corner. The other 3, in 1926, Babe Ruth. In 1928, Lou Gehrig. In 1952, Duke Snider. Snider did it again, and then Hank Bauer in 1958. Hunter strikes out. But the A's get a hand as they leave the field. 3-run score on 2 base hits, including the towering home run of Gene Tenace. No errors and none left. And at the end of 2, Oakland 3, Cincinnati 1.
Black is beautiful. It takes a lot of people. So is red. And brown. It takes a lot of people. And white. People. It takes every color. Helping people on the team. Helping other people. That's what it's all about. Doing their best. When you got the people to turn it around. Helping other people from discrimination. And wouldn't have it any other way. Participation. People putting it all together. Helping people, that's the score. Helping other people, that's what it's all about. They give a card to the most valuable player in the World Series each year, and I'd say at this point, Jim, Gene Tenace, well, he's almost in the driver's seat. Now here's Steve Rose, who led off and homered on the first pitch from Hunter. Nevertheless, Mando comes in on the grass at third, realizing a red lead runs, and Rose will try to get on. And pulls this one, a breaking pitch to right field for a base hit. Rose again, first ball hitting, and Hunter controlled today, even though he has only walked one man and not intentionally. He's not been finding those corners. But there's a saying about Catfish Hunter. You've got to get him early. If you do not get to him early, seldom do you get to it. He carries a season-long earned run average, third best in the American League of 2.04, and has allowed only a little bit better than a run in each of the 2 playoff games against Detroit and in the first World Series game that he pitched. Rose leading off. Here's Morgan, who is 0 for 14 in the series. He's in there, and he pops this one up to short center field. Campaneris and Green are back. Green takes it, and that's one out. We'll repeat again that Gene Tenace, because Al was talking about the possibilities of being the most valuable player. You never know what's going to happen in the World Series, but at least Al, he's got his name on their record books, and when you scan down the 4 home runs of the series and see names like Ruth, Gehrig, Snider, and Bauer, Tenace is going to have a pretty good winter and a pretty good life. Here's Tolan, popped out. The Campaneris at shortstop, back in the first, swings on the first pitch, and that's the best-looking runner fastball we've seen. He blew that right by Tolan. Strike one to Bobby Tolan. 3-1 the score. We're at the top of the third. The A's lead it. If they win today, the series is all over. Ready with the pitch, and puts something off first, and again Tolan now puts it. And it's 2 strikes. Rose. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
sun now is shining brightly here in Oakland. One of the rare times it has. This is the drive to left field. Back goes Rudy to the warning track, standing on the warning track and leaps up. A long drive to the opposite field by Bobby Coleman on a 1-2 pitch. That's all. He just didn't get all the way around. We pause 30 seconds for station identification.
Every Sunday.
Well, when manager Dick Williams saw that fastball, told him not completely get around on, go far to left field. He got his bullpen working. Now the batter is Johnny Bench, and he's up with a man on base. That's been a rarity in this series for Johnny Bench. He's got Rose at first with 2 outs. Bob Locker and Dave Hamilton are warming up in the A's bullpen. Hamilton the left-hander, Locker the right-hander. 3-1 the score. Hunter misses with a fastball outside, and it is quickly 2-0 to Johnny Bench. The outstanding thing about Captain Shutter is his control. He hasn't walked anybody except the one man intentionally, but he's gotten too many good pitches over the plate. Now he gets something off the breaking pitch, and that's a strike right down the middle. But even that strike with a breaking pitch, that's not where Captain likes to put the ball. He wants that outside or inside inch of the 17-inch plate. Not down the middle as that breaking pitch was. 2 balls, 1 strike. Rose again leading off at first base. Epstein holding him there, and there's the ball. Hendrick got a little slow break on it. Campaneris goes out, and Campaneris takes it over here for the 3rd out. Hendrick was left rooted practically in center field. It was off the 5th defense. A run, 1 hit, no errors, and Rose left at first base. We go to the last of the 3rd, and it is Oakland 3, Cincinnati 1.
Follow the rugged road. Follow the rugged road. They're a breaking camp and leaving for the wild when it's a calling. Follow the rugged road. The river ends between 2 hills. Follow the rugged road. There's another river flowing on the other side. Follow the rugged road. Follow the rugged road. Follow the rugged road. Oh, the scouts are there waiting, they're leaving, sons are riding. Follow the rugged road. Follow the rugged road.
Why don't you find out how scouting rounds a guy up? Join the Boy Scouts and have the fun of your life.
Andy Campaneris in the 3rd inning. Down the back, McGlothlin, the pitcher in the 1st, and Campy is now 3 for 16 in the series. Hasn't scored a run. He's the man that makes the offense go, but nobody's had an offense going in this series. All have been low-scoring, 1-run ball game. Sparky Anderson said last night, he could have bet me that we'd score just 6 runs in 4 games. I can't believe it. Again, Menke moves it on the grass at third base. Campaneris, right-handed batter, ready, and gets the glimpse pitch as he swings at it. And it's a strike. Campaneris will be suspended for the first week of next season because of the bat throwing incident in the playoffs. Another breaking pitch. Menke backhands it. It is a foul ball. The ball was not sharply hit. Menke did a good job to get his glove on the ball and would have been able to throw him out, but it was just across the foul line. McGlothlin quickly ahead of Campaneris, 0-2. McGlothlin ready and throws the fastball. Misses on the inside. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Well, this is the prettiest day that we have had since flying to Oakland, California, Sunday afternoon. Rain much of the week. There's a curved strike 3 call to Campaneris. Second strikeout for McGlothlin. Matty Alou, 1 for 14 in the series, comes up. Reds lead it by 2. We're in the last of the 3rd. Alou, the left-handed batter, has everybody expecting him to hit the other way. Alou beats out a lot of ground balls, bunts his way on, watches the pitch go low for ball 1. Alou and Maxwell were incalculable in their aid to the rest of the A's because they've been with the Cardinals, and in Cincinnati, they were able to tell them about how to play the infield. Drive to right field. Over goes Geronimo to his right. Now has to come in 10 or 12 steps and has it for the second out of the Oakland 3rd. That'll bring up Joe Rudy. Rudy struck out at swinging at the McGlothlin curveball to end the first inning. He's a Californian from Modesto, 5 for 16 now in the series. Mike Epstein swinging the bat on deck. Rudy, with his 181 hits, led the American League in the strike-shortened season just concluded. McGlothlin. Fastball is flying the other way down the right field foul line, and that's curving foul. Rudy did the same thing back in the first inning. Tolan had been playing him in left center field. And after they saw a line drive go down the right field line, Tolan quickly switched over to right center field. He's starting out Rudy right there. That's where they've been playing, except for that couple of strikes in the first inning. Everybody's been playing him to hit to right. Tolan was moved to right back in the first. Look, he is hit by a fastball. Never could have gotten out of the way of that one. Rudy was on him so fast it just hit him up above the ribcage. And again, the lack of work is showing in McGlothlin. Back in the second inning, he walked Epstein on 4 pitches and made 2 good hits to Tenace. He had a 3-run home run, and that's the game 3-1. Now here's Epstein. Mike looked over everything in the second inning and led off with that walk as McGlothlin missed on those 4 straight pitches. Now the Cincinnati bullpen again begins to get busy. 2 outs in the third, man on. Epstein waits and does not go around on a pitch, and now they're calling for the field play down to Jim Honestick at third base, and he says, nope, he didn't go around, that's ball 1. Bench quickly pointed with his left hand down to Honestick at third base. 1 ball, no strikes to Mike Epstein, who went to the University of California. Tried to pull back there before he became a minor league player of the year, and then on to Baltimore and Washington and then Oakland. After the fastball, it is too low to Epstein. 2-0. Epstein is a great student of the kind of hitting that Ted Williams likes to talk about. Find out that pitcher's best pitch of the day and key off of it. And Epstein looks over a lot of pitches trying to key more than most big sluggers, as he said before. Back with the fastball, it gets away from Bench, but Rudy's going nowhere as Johnny quickly pounces on it. But it is 3-0, and Epstein has been up there now twice in this ball game and has seen 7 pitches out of the strike zone. Looking down to see with 2 out, if he's got the red light to wail away. He is a left-handed hitter. Rudy is on. There are 2 outs. McGlothlin has to come in with the pitch. And then with the fastball, he's swinging and grounds it to Perez, hitting on the 3-0 count. No runs, no hits, no errors, and Rudy left on base. At the end of 3, Cincinnati leads, or rather trails Oakland 3-1.
The choice is yours. You can't change the world, and you can cut out with drugs. If you're thinking about drugs, think about this.
What do you do when the music stops? Where are you then? Where are you then? When you drop full blown on all the mountains. Where are you then, my friend? What do you see when your pupils contract? You're out in the alley after your rack, and you're not quite whole, and the tray falls intact. Where are you then, my friend?
You can choose to change the world, but for that, you need your head straight and in the right place. If you choose drugs instead, where are we then, my friend?
Where are we then?
3 inning totals. Oakland 3 runs, 2 hits, and no errors. Cincinnati 1 run, 3 hits, and no errors. All the scoring accounted for on homers. Rose with the bases empty for the Reds. Tenace, a 3-run homer for the A's.
Perez, the batter, swings at a breaking pitch, strike 1. Tony has more hits than anybody else in the series. He's 8 for 15, and he is 3 for 4, plus a walk against Catfish Hunter in the 2 games. Perez hit the home run in the 1966 All-Star game off Hunter that won it for the National League. Well, Hunter throws the breaking pitch outside, and again, that is way outside, and that, again, continues to tell us that Hunter does not have that pinpoint control that he's known for. 1 ball, 1 strike. In fact, with something off the breaking pitch, it's down low, and it's 2-1. Dave Hamilton and Bob Locker were up and throwing back in the third inning. Nobody's throwing there now. 2 balls, 1 strike to Perez. Hunter back, throws the fastball, grab it toward Campanese at shortstop, takes it on the third out, guns it to first base, and Perez is out. Dennis Menke up for the second time. He sacrificed Perez over to third base back in the second inning. Menke has shown us some fielding at third base in this series. He's been a fine fielding third baseman. And he saw some fielding when Joe Rudy in the Sunday game robbed him of an extra base hit with a leaping grab in Cincinnati to save the ball game in the last of the ninth inning. Hunter back, and there's a drive. Left field, back goes Rudy. After all, looking up, it's gone, and it's 3-2. All runs coming on home runs, and Menke has hit one here for Cincinnati.
Menke hit 9 during the regular season, and then he's had his problems in the World Series, 1 for 13, plus a sacrifice in the second inning, and out it goes, and all of the runs in the game accounted for on homers. Rose and now Menke with the bases empty for the Reds, Tenace for the A's. Jim, the Reds in Game 5 of the playoffs were down 3-1 to Pittsburgh and came from behind to win the game, so they'll have to do it again with their backs to the wall in the series here in Game 5.
Geronimo fouled out to Rudy. That Oakland bullpen is busy again. First pitch is outside. Well, we expected to see lack of control from Jim McGlothlin because he hasn't hit. Hunter is the man that you expect to see good control. His pitches have been too fine, and they're picking on him. And hit a couple of home runs. There's a breaking pitch. Geronimo swings and misses on, and it's 1 ball, 1 strike. 1-1. Hamilton left-hander. Locker right-hander throwing in the Oakland bullpen, and there's a fastball that's foul off the mask of Gene Tenace. It's 1 ball, 2 strikes. Oakland now leads by a single run. But what's new? All of the games prior to this have been won by a single run. 3-2, 2-1, 1-0, and 3-2. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Geronimo left-hander deep in the box. Waits, takes something off this pitch, and it's fouled off to the left. Geronimo scarcely got his bat out there and just punched it foul to the left. Still 1 ball, 2 strikes. 1 out in the Cincinnati fourth. Hunter ready to throw again, and there's a breaking pitch, but it's high and away, and it's 2-2. Tenace hit a 3-run homer, and you couldn't hear yourself think. On the home runs by Rose and Menke, Oakland Coliseum is absolutely quiet, as you would expect. Hunter back to 2-2, throws the fastball, and foul back. Still 2 balls, 2 strikes to young Cesar Geronimo, who has had 1 hit in 12 times at bat in the World Series. Harold Cheney, the switch-hitting shortstop, is on deck. Well, the Reds are hanging in there. They trail by a run, and there's a drive that is just foul. It was right on the line until about a foot before the third base bag, and then skipped foul, and Jim Honachek, third base umpire, quickly called it foul. Hunter with a new baseball looks into Tenace's catcher. The pitch, and it's fouled again to the screen, and we've got the same old count. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Rose homered in the first to make it 1-0. In the second, after Epstein walked and Hendrick was on with an infield hit, Tenace hit his 4th World Series home run to make it 3-1. In this, the Cincinnati fourth, Menke is just homered to make it 3-2, Oakland. Back with the pitch, it's a breaking pitch, and it's fouled off to the left again as Geronimo continues to battle Jim Catfish Hunter. The sun is out in Oakland. The lights that were turned on an hour before the game began remain on. Hunter back, and this is in on the hands of the breaking pitch, and he might have killed somebody in that Cincinnati dugout. Way out in front of a breaking pitch, in on his hands, and just pulled it foul into the Cincinnati dugout, and his teammates are waving their red caps at him. Usually they get white towels and wave those. Geronimo continues to guard that plate. Hunter ready to throw again and throws the fastball, and guess what? It's fouled off again. Still 2-2. With the bases empty and one out of the Cincinnati fourth. I'd like to welcome all of you who are listening in Europe, South America, all the ships of sea, the Far East, Japan. The 2-2 pitch, fastball, and he fouls it to the screen again. Well, it was a short ball game until Cesar Geronimo stepped in. He and Hunter Presley are making it a long ball game. Hunter now ready to get another new ball and take something off this one, and it's fouled off to the left. And pretty soon Alan Roth, our statistician, will send over a little piece of paper that will say he has fouled off more pitches than anybody else in World Series history.
That might be the only statistic that Alan Roth doesn't have.
It is still 2-2. To Geronimo. He got him looking at a curveball, strike three. Guessing the fastball, Geronimo saw the curveball duck in and over the plate. Strikeout number 2 for Hunter. And now with 2 out, here is Tenace, who was Perez at third base, and 1 out of the second inning was walked intentionally the last time up. The Reds trail by a run. We're in the top of the fourth at Oakland. The A's lead the series 3-1. They win today, and the 72 baseball season's all over. Hits the fastball, straightaway center field. Hendricks, with his glasses down and rather deep, takes the line drive off the bat of Bill Cheney. 1 run on the only hit. Menke, first World Series home run. Now, there is none left. We go to the last of the fourth. The A's lead the Reds 3-2.
If you're a high school senior looking forward to college, now's the time to put in your application for a Navy ROTC college scholarship. If you qualify, your tuition and books for 4 years of college will be paid for by the Navy. You'll be able to choose from top colleges and universities all over the country. And you can take your degree in just about any field you choose. You'll even receive a paycheck every month. When you finish college, you'll move right into one of the most important, exciting jobs in the world today. You'll be an officer in the United States Navy or Marine Corps. The final date for NROTC college scholarship applications is December 1st. So get in touch with your local Navy recruiter right away.
Now Michaels with Jim Simpson at the Oakland Coliseum. The A's come up in the bottom of the fourth. It'll be Bando, Hendrick, and Tenace, and this figures to be Jim McGlothlin's last inning. Ted Eulander was out on deck to hit for Max Pancini, got on the board in the fourth inning. So it figures to be Jim's last inning of work as he tries to hold the A's close. It's 3-2 Oakland. Here's Jim Simpson.
All right, Al, after Epstein drew a walk of the second, Bando on a 1-0 pitch drove Tolan very deep in center field for his long drive. He's 0 for 1, 3 for 16 in the series. Right-handed batter, the team captain. McGlothlin ready and throws a curveball that gets to the outside corner, strike 1. Bando had 16 game-winning RBIs during the regular season, and that led the A's. Strike 1 pitch fastball, beat to the ground toward third base, but it's foul and will be picked up over there by Menke. Bando, with those 16 game-winning RBIs during the regular season, has no RBIs in the World Series, nor has he scored a run. But there are a lot of people that can point to the same kind of statistics. 0-2, and he almost went for a breaking pitch. It was blown away. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Bando checked at the last moment. Sal hit 15 home runs during the regular season. Back again with a fastball that is way outside, and it's 2-2 to Bando. In the Oakland fourth, the Reds trail the A's by a run. It's 3-2 Oakland. Lots of sunshine. Outfielders keep fooling with their glasses. This ball again hits in front of the plate and bounces up the bench. This is the first full count of the ball game we've had by either pitcher. 3 balls, 2 strikes to Sal Bando. He had a 3-0 count to Epstein. He was given the red light and grounded to first base. Three pitches way outside. to walk. Second walk, given up by McGlothlin. And that'll bring up Hendrick. And again, that Reds bullpen gets busy. Hendrick nubbed the ball to the left of the mound in the second, and I doubt that McGlothlin could have thrown him out. But as he came up with the ball slipped out, and Hendrick was given a deserved base hit. Borbon is the man throwing again for the Reds. So Hendrick is now 2 for 14 in the series. Menke's creeping in. Hendrick swerves around the front. It's a breaking pitch, and it's outside, ball one. In games like we've seen through the first four, 1 run is something to have, but if you can get a 2-run ball, you'd be home free, at least the way the games have gone before now. So McGlothlin's doing the breaking pitches. He tried to bunt. Now he checks to keep Ando, who runs fairly well, close to first base. 1-0 to Hendrick. Menke begins, creeps in again. Here's the pitch, and he misses. Outside and low. Well, one of the rules of thumb, not necessarily always true. If you want to, here comes Sparky Anderson. If you want somebody prepared to bunt, you try to get the ball up high so he'll pop it up. McGlothlin has been missing all the way, and it's 2-0. That's all 30 seconds for station identification. 2, 1, 0.
Are you up in the air about the general election in November? You can prepare yourself. Get both feet on the ground. Find out what each candidate has to offer, his beliefs, and what he advocates for your country. You have the final decision on who will be the next leader of our country. Ask your voting officer about the federal postcard application, which will permit you to register by mail. Do it today.
Sparky Anderson has done something he really wanted to avoid. He has to bring a new pitcher in, and it's Pedro Borbon. And the reason he was hoping McGlothlin could get out of the inning was that he was going to hit for him in the fifth. Now the way things stand, Borbon either has to lead off in the fifth inning or Anderson has to use a pinch hitter and then go again to the bullpen, probably to Tommy Hall, as Borbon is called on. So he was hoping that Mack could get out of the fourth inning. He went 0-2 on Bando and then walked him, and now McGlothlin goes 2-0 on Hendrick, and has called in for the fourth time in 5 games. Borbon worked last night. Pitched the 8th inning, gave up a hit, and then in the 9th, retired the first man, and Marquez got a base hit off Borbon. Pedro was charged with a run, but the winning run was charged to Clay Carroll as he took the loss with the A's coming from behind 2 in the 9th. So Borbon set to work on Hendrick, 2-0 to count. Jim Simpson.
Well, this is the third time in the series that a pitcher has been working on a batter and has been taken out before he's completed pitching to that batter. Borbon, sinker-ball touches, catches the outside corner with his fastball at the strike. Borbon, I'm sure you know by now, if you follow the World Series, has the sinking fastball, and you constantly are hitting the ball into the dirt if he's right, and he has been right for most of this series and much of the season. 2-1 now, the count. Now throwing around the bunt up the first base line, and it's off the glove of Borbon. They flip over to Morgan covering as Perez picked it up, and the sacrifice worked. Sacrifice bunt would be 1 to 3 to 4. Now the second goes Hendrick, and here comes Dean Tenace. Who hit 2 home runs in the first game is going to be put on. He hit 2 home runs within the space of the last 24 hours, last night in the day, and the first base open. They're going to put him on. A lot of people might forget also in the 9th inning rally by the A's last night as they picked up 2 runs to win. Tenace had a very important single up the middle in that rally to keep it alive. There's ball 3 to him. Lando is down at second base. There's 1 out in the 4th. There's ball 4. Oakland leads 3-2 and looking for more. Dick Green is out on deck. But right there with him is Gonzalo Marquez. And Green is going back. And Marquez is coming on. Marquez, as a pinch hitter, has been 2 for 3. And And last night, with one out in the ninth inning, Marquez started things off with a single up the middle. Later scored the tying run. Marquez, the left-handed hitter, goes up there to swing the bat. The single he got last night was off the pitcher he faces today, Borbon. Borbon ready and throws, and there's the ball pulled just outside the first base line. Perez was not guarding the line that closely, and the ball sailed past him on the ground, and the runners will have to return. Infield is a double play depth. Thinking they've got an excellent chance with a good sinker ball pitcher, Borbon, the man working. As the ball hits the shallow center field, Mike off in there it does. Around third base, that's Bando. Owens up with the ball. The throw is to third base, the headlock wide. Everybody's safe, and it is 4-2 Oakland. As Bando scores, Tenace goes to third with a head first line. And Marquez has done it again. A fine hitting pitcher is coming up. Hunter 1 for 4 in the World Series as an RBI to his credit. And Gonzalo Marquez, who won, and now Alan Lewis races out, and he will run for Marquez, who gets an ovation. Marquez is now 3 for 4, all as a pinch hitter, and all in difficult situations. The infield looking into the dugout now. They are in close at the corners at the moment. Still looking for the double play. In the middle is Tolan and Morgan back up. Perez is holding Alan Lewis. Menke even with the bag at third. And there's the defensive bunt, and they've got Tenace hung up off third base. He is tagged out there, and Tenace pushes away on Menke. He's down to second base, goes Alan Lewis. Hunter missed the bunt, and they caught Tenace off third base. Well, Marquez is the leather. Lewis is down at second base. And it's 1 strike to Hunter. 4-2 the score. 6 runs in this ball game, and that's the most that have been scored in any ball game, and we're not yet half over. Breaking pitch from Borbon, a curveball. And Hunter looking at it quickly, 2 strikes. Tenace really put a heads-up block on Menke, and Menke tagged him out at third base. Fastball just misses outside. It's 1 ball, 2 strikes. Tom Hall is up and throwing in the Cincinnati bullpen. Nobody active in the A's. They've had Hamilton Walker up throwing on 2 different occasions. There's a ground ball down the right side, and a dare in the coaching box at first base will take it. Well, Bobby Brown in 1947, Dusty Rhodes in 1954, Carl Warwick in 1964, all have 3 pinch hits for the series record. And add Gonzalo Marquez's name to that list. Pitch drive, center field, Tolan is there in right center field and comes in a few steps and one-hands it for the third out. But 1 run scores on just 1 base hit. The walk was costly. No errors and 1 man left. At the end of 4, the A's 4, the Reds 2.
Steve's Carnival, the world-famous comedy that delighted audiences in Europe and on Broadway, opens at Surfside Theater October 19th. It's the story of 3 thieves pretending to be ruined Spanish noblemen and of a lady who pretends to believe in their masquerade only to give her nieces something interesting to do. Steve's Carnival will run to the 29th of October with 10 scheduled performances. Admission is free. For reservations, call 856281. Don't miss the Surfside Theater production of Steve's Carnival.
At 790 and 1420 in the Canal Zone, This is SCN Radio, an affiliate of the American Forces Radio and Television Service.
Second baseman for the A's, Ted Kubiak, and in the bullpen for the Reds, right-hander Gary Nolan is throwing alongside the left-hander Tom Hall.
Now, Jed Elander is 1 for 2 in the series. In the fifth inning of the Sunday game, he came up batting for Ross Grimsley against Catfish Hunter and lined a double to the opposite field. That's his 1 for 2. Left-handed batter, Bando in at third base. Hunter ready and throws him a curveball that stays outside. Ball 1 to Elander. 4 runs on just 3 hits, but one of them was a 3-run home run. No errors for Oakland. 2 runs, both on homers. 4 hits, no errors for Cincinnati. Ball fouled away by Elander. It's 1 ball, 1 strike. In the top of the fifth of what might be the final game of the 1972 World Series. The Reds have come from behind all year long. If they do, we go back to Cincinnati. If they don't, it's all over. 1 ball, 1 strike, and a fastball is out of the street. 1 and 2 to Elander. Gary Nolan and Hall continue to warm. Nolan, the scheduled starter today, Val indicated, had some trouble with the shoulder, and McGlothlin got the call of it very well. Considering that he has not worked much, already hung that one big pitch to Tenace. That misses inside. It is 2-2 to Elander. On a right track with a fastball, it's hit foul off to the left, twisting toward the Oakland dugout and bounces a few feet in front of Sal Bando, who is pursuing it, and then up into the stands. 2-2 to Ted Elander. Long-time member of the Minnesota Twins, then went to Cleveland, and then on down to Cincinnati. A rancher out in Texas. 2 balls, 2 strikes. They plan to hit to the opposite field, and that pitch is too low. The Hunter fastball misses low. 3 and 2. And this is the first time that Hunter has gone all the way on the batter. On a 3-2 pitch, he throws him a fastball. It's grounded to Epstein, who blocks it, waves off Hunter, and Elander is out. That'll bring up Pete Rose. And you wonder as Pete Rose comes up just how good or how bad Hunter will make this first pitch be. First pitch in the first inning, Rose homers. First pitch in the third inning, Rose lined a single sharply to right field. Switch hitter. 8 consecutive years a 300 hitter. He is a good one, batting left-handed against Hunter. Oakland leads it by 2 in the top of the fifth. Hunter is ready, and Rose is swinging, but this time he misses. It's like Hunter's good sinking fastball. A strike for Pete Rose. What competitors they've got matched up there. Hunter and Rose, 2 of the best in baseball. Foul out of play, off to the left. Fastball again. The second fastball in a row that Hunter has thrown, Pete Rose. Joe Morgan, hitless in the series, 0 for 15 thus far, swinging a bat on the check. They're playing Rose around to the left, even though he homered. There's the pitch. Well, Tenace thought he had called strike 3. Just off the corner, says Bob Engel. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Started to say Hendrick and Rudy are playing Rose around to the left, and yet Rose pulled his home run to right and pulled his single to right. Hunter might have told him that was my fault. He won't pull the ball again. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Throws him a curveball, just misses the inside. And it's 2-2. This is just off the outside corner, and then a curveball just inside. 2 and 2 to Pete Rose, who steps back in. Hunter, the pride of Hertford, North Carolina. One lives there. Throws, fastball, check swing. It's outside, second straight full count. Hunter's control, despite the fact he's gone to 3-2, looks much better in this fifth inning than it has all along. Those pitches that have missed have just been out of the strike zone. They haven't been way outside or way inside or way high or low. Comes back and there's a ground ball. Campanelli back to second base. As it rolls to get the speedy rolls and has him by half a step. Two out of the Cincinnati fifth, and Joe Morgan hitless in the series. And he has grounded back to the pitcher and popped up to the second baseman in this game. The A's infield now, since Green was batted for by Marquez, is Epstein at first, Kubiak at second, Cabanera at short, Mando third. Outfield remains the same. Rudy in left, Hendrick in center, Alou in right, Tenace now, flashing the signs to Hunter's pitcher. 4-2, Oakland, top of the fifth. Hunter throws a curveball outside. Now Tenace goes out to talk to Hunter. But unlike other innings, when Hunter's had a little problem, they've had men in the bullpen. Apparently the feeling is on the bench here that Catfish has better control now than he had in the early going. And for the Reds, that could mean bad news. Hunter ready again. Tenace behind the plate, throws the fastball low and inside, and it's 2-0. Epstein guarding the line at first base. Big hole between Epstein and Kubiak. Breaking pitch is outside, and it's 2-0. Makes that 3-0. Morgan fakes, and it's way outside, and Joe draws the walk. That is the second walk given up by Hunter, and the other one was an intentional walk. This is on 4 pitches, and with that in mind, quickly Williams goes back to the bullpen. Now, Vida Blue has been in that bullpen all through the series, but if we go to Cincinnati tomorrow, Blue will be the Oakland pitcher. Hamilton is there now, and Raleigh Fingers has replaced Bob Locker as the right-hander in the Oakland bullpen. Here's Bobby Tolan, 0 for 2, drove Rudy deep to the running track last time up. There goes Morgan running, and there's a drive to right field. It'll get in there. Morgan is on his way around second base to third base. Alou is over, and Morgan will score all the way from first base. Now they've got the man off first base, but nobody is covering there because of Morgan running on the plan. It is 4-3. Tolan was able to take the long turn at first base as Morgan was running all the way. And with nobody there, he was able to get back in plenty of time. Now, last night, when Tolan doubled, Morgan was running on the pitch, and 2 runs were able to score on Bobby Tolan's double. Today, with Morgan running and Tolan swinging, he scores all the way from first on a single, and Dick Williams is coming out. He may have seen enough. Hunter looked pretty good at the top of this inning, getting Eulander and Rose with good pitches, although he was behind the batters. Then he quickly lost his control, and on 4 pitches walked Morgan. Tolan hit the first pitch he saw and lined a single to right. And it's 4-3, and the Reds have crept back within a run again, and now they're saying, we want Raleigh Fingers to pitch to Johnny Bench. Bench walks back, and Fingers is going to come on in. Fingers has been caught at pitcher, Al. Was 4 2/3 innings. Has not allowed a run and only 1 hit.
And he's a durable pitcher, too. That's the thing that's been so impressive. He's pitched in all 5 games, 3rd day in a row. He had the 2 off days, as everybody did, Monday and Tuesday. But Fingers is coming on for his 5th appearance in the World Series, and an early spot in the game, Jim. For him, he's normally a late man. The hand is for Hunter. But Dick Williams walks him in this situation because Johnny Bench is about it. 2-man to get right here, tying run at first base. The Reds, of course, able to pick up a run here in the 5th because of the speed of Joe Morgan. He walked, immediately went him, and Bobby Tolan singled. Normally, Morgan would have gone as far as 3rd, and that's all, but he had a good jump. Ball died on the grass, and Lou had to come in and pick it up. And Tolan, despite being held to a single, picks up a run batted in with Morgan scoring all the way from first base. Well, if you like collecting things, why not try something with a sure payoff? United States Savings Bonds. You can buy bonds right now through the payroll savings plan. It's easy, it's painless, and it's sure. A few dollars out of each paycheck soon adds up to a lot. And along with your nest egg, you'll collect peace of mind. Start buying U.S. savings bonds now. Join payroll savings. Johnny Bench will be the batter. Bobby Tolan at first base. 2 down, 5th inning. Here again, Jim Simpson.
Johnny Bench, who led the major leagues in home runs and RBIs, has neither in the World Series, and this is the spot for Bench and the Reds and their fans. In a 4-3 ball game in the top of the 5th inning. The first ball game, which we've had as many as 7 runs. This is by far and away the most loosely pitched ball game of the series. Fingers, right-hander ready. Shares over, and there goes the runner, Tolan. Here's Tenace's throw down to second base, and he's in with the stolen base. The ball slips away, but Tolan has the throw beaten. Stolen base, and the tying run is now down at second base. The pitch was a strike to Bench. 4 runs, just 3 hits. No errors for Oakland. 3 runs, 5 hits, no errors for Cincinnati in the top of the 5th. They play Bench around to the left end very deep. Campaneris back at the edge of the grass at shortstop. Mando deep at third base. Here's the pitch. It's outside. The breaking pitch. 1 ball, 1 strike. 5 consecutive games for Raleigh Fingers. And in 7 postseason games going back to the playoffs, he's allowed 1 run, 5 hits in 10 innings that he has worked. Wilson remains busy. Fingers looks back, throws that sweeping pitch, and that's the strike on the outside corner. Bench checked his swing, and I don't believe that Bob Engel, the home plate umpire, is saying that you went around, but rather it caught the outside corner of the plate. Bench is down 1 ball, 2 strikes. For Raleigh Fingers. Tying run, Tolan very fast out at second base. Good lead off second base. Fingers nods his head. He's ready. Here's the pitch. Foul just off the end of the bat of Johnny Bench. Just did get a piece of it. 1-2. Cincinnati got a run in the first on Rose's home run. Tenace's 3-run homer got Oakland on top. Nobody scored in the third. Each scored a run in the fourth, and Cincinnati's had added a run here in the 5th. It's 4-3. 1-2 the Bench. Fingers looks at Tolan, comes back, and the bat was flying. Look out, and it's a foul ball. Went in front of the plate, but it hit the plate, and Bench now must go over. Well, the Cincinnati bat boy runs all the way over to the Oakland dugout and gets the bat back from the Oakland bat boy and hands it to Bench. Back went fly. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Cincinnati bullpen busy, Oakland bullpen busy. Gets away from Tenace. It's blown away. Tolan comes around third base, slips. He now gets back toward third base. Standing at home plate is Raleigh Fingers. The ball, 2 strikes, the best. Wild pitch. The tying run is at third base. Here's the pitch, and the pitch is called out looking at a third ball on the outside corner. He's struck out 2 times in this game, and Bench has not had a good series driving in runs, nor has he had the opportunity, but he had his friend to tie it up. 1 run scores on the 1 base hit by Tolan. No errors, and Tolan was left at third base. They go to the last of the 5th, and Oakland beats Cincinnati by a single run, 4-3.
We know that drunk drivers were involved in killing at least 25,000 of us last year alone. But during the past decade, drunk drivers killed over 200,000 of us. We know that it's the dangerous alcoholics, the problem drinkers, who are really to blame. We know it's a monstrous-sized problem. But until we find the answer, we ought to know enough to get these problem drinkers off the road. To find out what you can do, write the National Safety Council, 425 North Michigan, Chicago, Illinois, 60611. But do it soon. A lot of people are dying to hear from you.
fifth inning, Campanella, Lou, and Rudy. And the voice of the Cincinnati Reds. And the Reds are still hanging in there, Al Michael.
Thank you, Jim. The new pitcher will be Tom Hall. He's the third pitcher of the afternoon. Jim McGlothlin started Pedro Borbon in the fourth, and now we see Tom Hall making his second World Series appearance in the bottom of the fifth. All were 2 innings, allowed no runs, 3 hits in Game 2 on Sunday. Bert Campaneris grounded out in the first inning, struck out in the third. 3 for 17 in the World Series. Right-hand batter with Menke playing in on the grass at third. The line by Hall and the first pitch, a breaking ball in for a strike, 0-1. Most of the A's familiar with Tom Hall. Spent a few years with the Minnesota Twins and was traded last winter for Wayne Granger. 10-1 during the regular year. Campaneris at the 5-fly, a deep left field. The fielder is backing up on the run, reaches up, makes the catch at the edge of the track. Great play by Rose. The Reds playing Campaneris shallow and feet racing back on a dead run. Makes a one-handed catch at the edge of the track. So Campaneris gets robbed. 1 out of the 5th inning, and up comes Matty Alou. Grounded out and flying out in 2 trips. Alou's in a long World Series. 1 for 15. Left-hand batter. Spray hitter, outfielder around third left. All to the plate inside, ball 1. Everybody in the infield is shallow. Menke in on the grass about 70 feet from the plate. Cheney and Morgan halfway. Perez even with the bag at first. All back 1-0, and the pitch swung on a comebacker. All up with it, throws to first, 2 down. Julie, the batter. Struck out in the first, hit by a pitch in the third. Pedro Borbon worked 1 inning. Charged with no runs, 1 hit, 1 walk, no strikeout. Jim McGlothlin has been charged with all 4 A's runs. Gene Tenace, a 3-run homer in the second, and then McGlothlin walked Bando, with Bando scoring in the fourth. Joe Rudy, 5 for 16 in the World Series, right-hand hitter. Outfield is straight away. All to the plate, and Rudy chops it foul off to the left. 0-1. If we have a 6th game, we'll be in Cincinnati tomorrow at 12:45 Eastern Daylight Time. Game time 1 o'clock. By the blue, the A's pitcher, Grimsley for the Reds. Strike 1 pitch to Rudy. Breaking pitch missing inside. A slider, 1-1. All very thin. They call him the Blade. But he throws about as hard as anybody on the staff. It's the Reds' first complete game this year. Came out of the bullpen to do it after the season was a month old. 1-1 pitch, he blew it by him, swung on and missed, and it's 1-2. All one of the more valuable Reds this year because he was a short man, a middle man, or long man, and every once in a while he made a start. 10-1 during the regular season. 1-2 to Rudy, swung on and missed strike 3. Got him on a slider, and down go the A's in the 5th inning. Oakland down 1-2-3, and that's the first time that's happened since the first inning. At the end of 5 full, Oakland 4, Cincinnati 3.
Every Sunday evening at 6:10, SCN presents the biography of Burt Bacharach.
I don't seek out to entertain either. I just seek to write melodies that are sort of memorable, get into people's skin, into their bloodstream. That's all I have designed for a composer.
The Bacharach style, words and music from and about one of the most influential voices on the contemporary music scene today, Burt Bacharach. A 12-chapter audio biography profiling the complete man from his youth to his present-day genius. I'm Mike Lawrence, and I'll be your host on The Bacharach Profile.
From the Oakland Coliseum in California, let's pause 30 seconds for station identification.
Are you getting all wound up about the general election in November?
is the time to find out what each candidate represents. Well, you as a voter will have to find the time. For you, through your ballot, determine the leaders and the policies of our country. Don't blow the one chance you have to let your government know how you want the country run. See your voting officer and ask him about the federal postcard application before time runs out.
It's a typical World Series ball game. Ian Bass. It is a one-run ball game at the moment, with Oakland leading 4-3. Concepcion is running down to the Reds bullpen, so perhaps Cheney will be batted for. Here in the sixth inning, Perez will lead it off, and here's our Mike.
Tony Perez doubled in the second, grounded out in the fourth, takes down low, ball one. Catfish Hunter cannot win the game. He didn't work the minimum 5. It's Finger's game to win. Raleigh coming on with 2 out in the fifth inning to strike out pitch. 1-0 pitch, missing low, ball 2, 2-0. Menke on deck, then Geronimo. Wayne Simpson and Gary Nolan in the Reds pen. 2-0 pitch, Perez swings at the grounder on 2 hops to Campanera. Easy play, and the shortstop gets it. 1 away. Dennis Menke coming up, sacrificed in the second, homer to left in the fourth. 2 for 14 in the World Series. The Reds got a run in the first on a homer by Rose. The A's back with 3 in the second on a 3-run homer by Tenace. Menke homered in the fourth to make it 3-2. The A's got another in the fourth, and the Reds scored 1-7. Breaking pitches, strike 0-1. Geronimo on deck. 1 out, bases empty. Strike 1 pitch on the way. Strike on the outside corner. 0-2. Gonzalo Marquez, a base hit. That's the difference in the game right now. A run-scoring single in the fourth to tie the World Series record. His third pinch hit. Menke swings it. Menke, down he goes. Boy, his fingers tough on right-handers. Now the left-handers will see what they can do with him as Geronimo comes up. Due to be followed by Cheney. And then the pitcher's spot. Cesar Geronimo fouled out to the left fielder Rudy in the second, struck out in the fourth. 1 for 13 in the World Series. Swings at the high fly ball to left field. Rudy flips the glasses down, starts to stumble, but maintains his balance and makes the catch backing up. Geronimo flies to left. The Reds go out quickly. In the sixth inning, no runs, no hits, and nobody left. At the end of 5 1/2, it remains. A's 4, Reds 3.
At Lexington and Frederick, in the War of 1812, the United States Army was there. Along the Texas border in World War I and II, the United States Army was there. That's the proud tradition of the man in Army green. Courage called to action, though his name might not be seen. Meeting every challenge, proud to serve his land. He knows the job is his, for he's an Army man. So there must always be a soldier, though his name might not be seen. Proud of his tradition, proud to wear the Army green. The best, stay with the best, stay with the Army.
Even as Tom Hall begins to pitch the sixth inning against Epstein, Bando, and Henry, Sparky Anderson already has his 2 right-handers, Tolan and Simpson, throwing in the Reds bullpen. They're down by a run. The Reds trying to hang in and continue the World Series and send it back to Cincinnati for a 6th game tomorrow. Epstein steps in, and here's out.
Mike Epstein walked in the second, grounded out on the 3-0 pitch in the third. Facing Hall for the first time, he takes the curve for a strike on the outside corner. 0-1. Epstein hitless in the World Series, 0 for 11. But he got on base and scored on Tenace's homer today in the second inning. Swings at the grounder on 2 hops to Perez at first, waves Hall away, makes the play unassisted. One first baseman gets the other, and Hall is set down all 4 men he has faced. 1 out in the sixth inning. Here's Sal Bando. Fly deep to center in the second, walked in the fourth. Fajardo, the A's team leader in RBIs this year at 77. Now the right hand, look for the strike on the outside corner. 0-1. Oakland, 4 runs, 3 hits. Cincinnati, 3 runs, 5 hits. In the sixth. Ball back to the plate. Bando grounds it to the left side. Menke short hops the ball in front of Cheney. Throws him out. 2 down. 6th inning. 5 straight for Hall. And this figures to be Hall's last inning unless Cheney homers to lead off in the 7th. Hendrick the batter. George Hendrick, an infield hit in the 2nd. Sacrificed in the 4th. Right-hand batter takes the slider up and in, ball 1. Hendrick in the World Series, 2 for 14. Bases empty, 2 down in the 6th. 1-0 pitch on the way. It's popped in the air and fouled round off to the left. It's playable. Dennis Menke near the coaching box. Makes the catch to retire the side. So the pace of the game quickens as the A's go down 1-2-3 quickly in the 6th. And the Reds come up in the 7th with the score. Oakland 4, Cincinnati 3.
Good old Harry. What a host. When Harry throws a party, nobody goes thirsty.
Here, let me freshen up that drink.
Good old Harry is such a great host. How come Bill and Jean are in such a terrible fight?
I want to go home right now. I don't care. I want to go home right now.
How come Bob got a little trouble driving? How come everybody who felt so good last night feels so bad this morning? Oh, maybe good old Harry is not such a great host after all. Maybe good old Harry is a pusher, a neighborhood pusher. Harry pushes alcohol. So if you serve alcohol, please, don't be a pusher. And if you're a guest, don't let good old Harry or anyone else push you into drinking more than you want. A public service message from this station and the National Institute on Alcohol Abuse and Alcoholism.
Hey, the left-hander, and as Allison pointing out, Raleigh Fingers, the right-handed pitcher, is very tough on right-handed batters. If you don't believe it, ask Johnny Bench when he left the tying run stranded at third base in the 5th and struck out looking at a Fingers curveball. Haig, the left-hander, steps in, and here's Al. By the way, Al, we do have a defensive change. Mike Keegan has put in custom in the late inning, has taken over first base for Mike Epstein.
Joe Haig 0 for 1 in the World Series. Came to the Reds in late May in a deal that sent Bernie Carbo to the St. Louis Cardinals. Haig batting for Cheney. Concepcion will be the new shortstop in the bottom of the 7th inning. Raleigh Fingers to the plate with a breaking pitch missing, ball 1. In the bullpen for the Reds, Clay Carroll and Wayne Simpson. Concepcion is out on deck to bat for Tommy Hall. Here's the 1-0 pitch on the way. Haig chops it foul. 1-1. Outfield is deep and around to it right. Bando is even with the back at third. 1-1 pitch on the way. Off-speed pitch outside, ball 2. 2-1. Fingers appearing in every game in the World Series. Came on today in the 5th inning in relief of Hunter. He struck out Bench at the side down 1-2-3 in the 6th. Working on Haig leading off in the 7th. 2-1 pitch on the way. Missing, ball 3. 3-1. McGray is in the Reds dugout and has a batting helmet on. He could come up to bat for Hall next, but Concepcion is on deck. Haig fouls it back 3-2. Fingers lines and a 3-2 pitch on the way. It's swung on, grounded slowly by the mound, charged by Kubiak, who short hops the wall, throws to Egan and gets him. 1 away. Haig grounds out, and it looks like it'll be Concepcion to bat for Tommy Hall. It is, as the Red shortstop, the man who platoons with Darrell Cheney, comes up to a pinch hit with 1 out of the 7th inning. be Simpson or Carroll in the bottom of the 7th inning. Dave Concepcion from Venezuela, 2 for 5 in the World Series. Right-hand batter waiting at the plate, takes a fastball for a strike on the outside corner. 0-1. Concepcion hit 209 this year, 2 home runs, 29 runs batted in. Fingers line, strike 1 pitch on the way. Breaking pitch in for a strike, 0-2. On deck is Pete Rose. Fingers feet apart on the rubber. Takes the shot from Tenace. Rocks into his windup and the strike 2 pitch on the way. Fastball just missing. Ball 1. 1-2. One out, nobody on. The 1-2 pitch on the way. Breaking ball, missing outside. Ball 2. 2-2 the count. 3 hits and no errors for the A's. 3 runs, 5 hits and no errors for the Reds. Fingers with the sign into his lineup and the 2-2 pitch on the way, missing inside, ball 3. To another full count. He goes 3-2 on Haig. Haig grounds out, and now Fingers 3-2 on Concepcion. And Raleigh calls time to tie his shoe. Outfield skating Concepcion toward right. Bando close to the line at third. Egan close to the line at first. 3-2 on the way. Swung on, lifted in the air to center field. Hendrick has plenty of room. Starts to back up now. It's up to 2 and makes the catch. 2 down. Pete Rose entered the game 1 for a 15. Hit the first pitch of the game for a home run. Then singled in the third. Rounded out in the 5th. So Rose 2 for 3 today. 3 for 18 in the World Series. Switch hitter. Batting left-handed. Rose waits at the plate. Fingers with the sign. Delivers and Rose takes his strike. 1-1. The wind and the strike 1 pitch on the way. Corner quickly on 2. Rose angry with the call. He's climbing back in. Fingers checking with Tenace. Into his lineup and the strike 2 pitch on the way. Inside, ball 1. Rose skipping out of the way. Ready, the 1-2 pitch on the way. Swung on into the air to deep left field. Rudy backing up on a warning track and makes the catch against the fence. So Rose a long way the opposite way, but Rudy with room, and down go the Reds in the 7th. No runs, no hits, nobody left at the end of 60 and a half. Oakland 4, Cincinnati 3.
They just don't make things like they used to, right? You don't get what you pay for. Service keeps getting worse and worse. Honey, it's always the other guy who's slow or careless. But you do all you can, right? Or do you? For example, do you use zip codes on the letters you send? Every letter you send without zip code slows down the mail. It can require extra sorting and make extra stops at more post offices. Putting in the zip code takes just a few seconds. But what a difference it makes. Look, if you're the kind of person who does a job right, you put the zip code on every card, letter, and package you send, and in your return address, too. That way the post office can do its job right and give you the kind of mail service you're paying for. Remember, mail moves the country, and zip code moves the mail.
As we come back, we'll let you listen to the crowd and what it's singing.
pitcher. He's the man who set the major league record with 37 saves during the regular season, but last night gave up singles to Tenace, Mincher, and Manuel in the last of the ninth, and he was the losing pitcher in the last of the ninth, and here he is again today. The face, Dean Tenace. Ed Kubiak and Wally Fingers.
Dean Tenace, probably the most valuable player in the World Series to this point, so Wally Fingers will get a lot of consideration. Takes the strike on the outside corner. Tenace hit a 3-run homer in the second, his 4th home run in the World Series. Drew an intentional walk in the 4th. 1-1, swings to the curve, grounds it there inside third, and backhanded by Menke, who throws him out. 1 away. So many things have happened in this series, but I think one thing that's been overlooked is the play of Dennis Menke. He has swept up everything in sight, everything hit his way in the series. One out of the 7th inning, Ted Kubiak pitched for the first time in the game, switch hitter up left-handed. Dick Green started. Marquez hit for Green in the 4th and singled. Now Kubiak, for the first time in the game, takes the pitch outside, ball 1. Kubiak, during the year, was 205. First time he's been up in the series. 1-0 pitch is tapped slowly left to the mound. Carroll falls down, and he picks it up and has no play. Carroll slipping on the grass, going down, and an easy out is turned into probably a base hit. We'll see how they score it. Ted Kubiak, an infield single, and Raleigh Fingers comes up. Fingers up for the first time in the series, right-hand batter. Fingers 6 for 19 during the regular season with 1 home run, 2 runs batted in. Menke ready to charge in the 3rd. Fingers around the bunt, lays one down in front of the plate. Sanchez throws to first in time. Sacrifice work as Kubiak goes to second. Play goes 2-4, Morgan covering. Bench to Morgan. Kubiak now at second, and with 2 down, up comes Bert Campaneris. Fine play by Bench. Menke charging in, and momentary confusion when it looked like Bench was going to let Menke take it and vice versa, but then Bench picked it up and threw out Fingers at first with Morgan covering. Bert Campaneris, 0 for 3. 3 for 18 in the World Series. Right-hand batter. Menke, even with a bag of third. Pitch on the way, breaking ball over for a strike. 0-1. Carroll making his 4th appearance in 5 games. Back to the plate he comes. Campaneris pops it up and foul ground back toward the screen. Bench giving chase, has no play. And the count is 0-2. Now Lou is on deck. When the Reds bat in the 8th inning against Fingers, it'll be the 2, 3, and 4 hitters. Morgan, Tolan, and Bench. Oakland leading 4-3. The Reds took the lead in the 1st inning. Rose the homer. The A's back with 3 in the 2nd. The Reds with 1 in the 4th. The A's with 1 in the 4th. The Reds 1 in the 5th. If you're scoring, Carroll hitting in the 8th spot, Concepcion staying in the game at shortstop, and Concepcion hitting in the 9th spot. Carroll set, strike 2 pitch on the way, called strike 3. Got him on a fastball on the inside corner, and the inning is over. So Campaneris strikes out. The A's go down in the 7th inning. No runs, 1 hit. Kubiak left at second. And at the end of 7 full, Oakland 4, Cincinnati 3.
On the early frontier, distances were great, winters were long, and you could count on your neighbors to help you. Today, things are different. And when you need help, where is the neighbor you can really count on? Who pitches in when there's a catastrophe? Who gets the word to a young serviceman that his daughter has just been born? Who makes sure there's blood when it's needed? Who teaches blind kids to swim? who does all those things that most other folks never seem to have time for. Well, there's one neighbor close by, your Red Cross volunteer. Now, maybe you haven't got a lot of hours to give to the American Red Cross every month, but think, where do you fit in? Neighbor.
We've gone 30 seconds for station identification.
Have you heard about the party coming up in November? The Democrats, Republicans, and Independents are throwing the party, and you're invited. They're calling it the general election. Price of admission, 1 vote. Your voting officer has your application, a federal postcard application for voting. And he can answer your other questions, too. Now, all you have to decide is who you want to receive that vote.
Along with Al Michaels, Jim Simpson back in Oakland, California, the Cincinnati 8 in a one-run ball game. It is never over until the final out. One can always try it, but when you look down the lineup and considering how hard Fingers is on right-handers, this should be their inning. Morgan, Tolan, and Menke.
Joe Morgan, the batter, leading off. Bluffs the bunt, takes the pitch up, 5-1. 1-0 the count. Joe Morgan grounded out in the first, popped out in the third, walked in the fifth. He is 0 for 15 in the World Series. Fingers, lines, and the 1-0 pitch on the way. Morgan takes high, ball 2. Activity in the A's bullpen. Right-hander Bob Locker and left-hander Dave Hamilton. In the Reds pen, Wayne Simpson. Fingers ready, back to the plate 2-0. Morgan takes the strike. Good one. Fingers came on in the fifth. He's faced 7 men, retired them all. He struck out 2. The right-hander ready, and the 2-1 to Morgan is up high, ball 3. 3-1 to count. Bobby Tolan waiting on deck. 4 runs, 4 hits, and no errors for the A's. 3 runs, 5 hits, and no errors for the Reds. Top, you're hitting Morgan towards left. 3-1 pitch on the way. Way inside, ball 4. And so the Reds have a tying run on base. Morgan leads off with a walk. And I would have to say he's almost a cinch to go. Bobby Tolan, the batter. Morgan was going the last time he walked in the 5th inning, and because of it, the Reds picked up a run. Tolan singled to right center, and Morgan, because he was going, was able to score all the way from first on the single. Conference at the mound, Campaneris, Mando, Tenace, and Fingers. Bobby Tolan popped out in the first, flied out in the third, singled in the 5th. Now Campaneris leaves the meeting, and Dick Williams takes his spot in the World Series. The American League rule prevailing, only 4 people can be at the mound at any one time. So Williams makes one of his frequent appearances at the mound to talk about the possible bunt by Tolan, perhaps, just what he'll be doing as far as Morgan is concerned, holding Joe close if they can. Morgan's second in the league during the regular season in stolen bases to Lou Brock. Morgan a big lead at first, held on by Hegan. Bando in on the grass at third. Tolan waiting as Fingers come set at the belt. A glance at first and a throw to first base, driving Morgan back. Morgan with 1 steal in the World Series. Big gap in right center in the outfield. Another throw to first base, and Morgan back in on his stomach. Tolan waiting at the plate with Johnny Bench, due up next. Another throw, 3 in a row to first base. The A's have Hegan at first, Kubiak at second, Campaneris at short, Bando at third. Rudy in left, Hendrick in center, Alou in right. Fingers throws to first base again. Morgan back in on his stomach once more, so he's gone over there 4 straight times. Oakland leading 4-3. Grimsley hustling down to the Reds pen. Pitch on the way, a pitch out, nothing doing. Ball 1, 1-0. Grimsley's supposed to be tomorrow's starter, but Sparky Anderson's going to have Grimsley start heating up in the Reds bullpen. Don't worry about tomorrow later. Here's the 1-0. There goes Morgan. The pitch is a strike to throw. Not in time. He has it stolen, and so the tying run is at second base. Tolan bluffing a bunt, letting it go by. The pitch in for a strike, and Morgan stealing second base. His second stolen base in the World Series, and it puts the tying run in scoring position with nobody out. The count 1-1 on Tolan. Harris playing close to the runner as Morgan takes a short lead from second. Here's the stretch, and the pitch to Tolan around the bunt. He misses for a strike. 1-2. Tolan out of the box. Adjusts his helmet. Climbs back in. Stands well up in the box. Holds the bat high. Fingers on the rubber. Checks with Tenace. Morgan a short lead at second. Fingers set. 1-2 pitch to Tolan. Bobby at the line drive. Base hit into right center field. Joe Morgan around third and a loose pitch falls down. The run scores. Tolan goes to second. So the Reds tie the game, and the go-ahead run is at second with nobody out. Bobby Tolan with 2 strikes, a base hit to right field. Joe Morgan coming in to score. And Lou slipped and fell down, and the ball rolled behind him, and Tolan goes to second. Johnny Bench will be the batter as the Reds tie the game. It is Cincinnati 4, Oakland 4 in the 8th inning. It's a single and an error charged to Lou. First error in the game. 1-1. Bench the batter. He's 0 for 3, facing Fingers for the second time. Raleigh to the plate. Bench bunts, and it is, let's see, it's either a foul ball or batter's interference. They call it a foul ball, and here comes Dick Williams. Bench bunting, and he wants the first base umpire, Haller, brought in for his observation on the play. Engel says no, it's simply a foul ball. Bench, had he touched the ball in fair territory, would have been out on batter's interference. Williams looking for markings before he heads back, puts up a mile deep, and then heads back to the dugout. So it's simply a strike, and the count is 0-1. Mando very deep at third, and Bench trying to bunt his way on. At worst, trying to get Tolan over to third with Perez on deck. 0-1 the count. Fingers set. A glance at second, and the pitch. Bench swings and misses. 0-2. Grimsley and Simpson in the bullpen for the Reds. Locker and Hamilton in the A's pen. Tolan at second, nobody out. Fingers is set. Here's the strike 2 pitch on the way. Bench swings, grounds it to Bando at third. He looks Tolan back, throws to first for the out. 1 away. So they get Bench. Johnny is now 0 for 4 today. And up comes Tony Perez, who doubled in the second, grounded out in the fourth, grounded out in the sixth. Cincinnati 4 runs, 6 hits, and no errors. Oakland 4 runs, 4 hits, and 1 error. By far the most offensive production for either club in the World Series. We've had 3-2, 2-1, 1-0, 3-2 last night. Today a slugfest, 4-4. Fingers to the plate. Perez takes a breaking ball down low. Ball 1. Slider missing. 1-0. Perez is 8 for 17 in the series. Bobby Tolan the go-ahead run at second. The next pitch to Perez is fouled back, and the count is 1-1. Menke is on deck. When the A's bat in the bottom of the 8th inning, they have their 2, 3, and 4 hitters, Lou, Rudy, and then Egan, who came on for Epstein in the 7th. Cincinnati 4, Oakland 4 in the 8th. Fingers set. Checks Tolan. Back he comes, and Perez check swing, comes around and misses. 1-2. Wicked slider. Breaking stuff to the right-hand batters. The Reds have been unable to do anything with it. The left-handed batters have been the ones who've done the damage off Fingers. He's had the right-handers eating out of his hand. No pun intended. Fingers set. 1-2 pitch on the way. Tolan goes. The big strike play to go to third. And they do not get him. He is safe at third. And Sal Bando is really mad. Bobby Tolan steals third. Williams out to argue. as Perez strikes out. So there's 2 down, and the go-ahead run is now at third. Now Bando taking an almost perfect throw from Tenace, a low throw actually, that skipped just in front of his glove. He was able to dig it out, and Tolan able to get in. On the call by the third base umpire, Honachek. Instant replay on TV might incur the wrath of a few Oakland fans, you might say. Looked like he had him. Williams, after arguing with Honachek, goes to the mound to talk to Fingers. Menke is the batter. Menke sacrificed in the second, homered in the fourth, struck out in the sixth. Two down. Bobby Tolan at third. A 4-4 tie. 8th inning. Fingers set, and the pitch to Menke is swung on and missed. The slider, 0-1. Outfield around toward left, infield back, except Bando at third. He's even with the bag. Fingers working out of a stretch. Tolan a short lead. And the pitch on the way, Menke hits it at the plate. 0-2. Geronimo on deck. Fingers set. Strike 2 pitch on the way. Menke swings, grounds it foul outside third. The Reds with single runs in the first, fourth, fifth, and here in the eighth. The A's with 3 in the second, 1 in the fourth. A 4-4 tie, 2 out. Tolan the third, 8th inning. Fingers set. Looks at Tolan, back he comes, and the pitch just off the plate outside. Ball 1. 1-2. The right-hander is set. Here's the 1-2 pitch on the way. Swung on, pop foul, out of play. Back of the plate. Menke is 2 for 15 in the World Series. He had 233 during the regular season, 9 home runs, 50 runs batted in. Most productive month was August. Fingers set, and the 1-2 pitch on the way is check swing foul. Menke just getting a piece of wood, fouling it off, staying alive, protecting the plate with 2 strikes, 1-2 the count. The Reds tie the game here in the 8th. Morgan walks, goes second, scored on a single by Tolan. Fingers ready again. 1-2 pitch to Menke is swung on a missed back third. So the Reds tie the game, and then Fingers sets the door with Tolan at second and nobody out. He gets benched Perez and Menke, and the Reds have to settle for 1. 1 hit, 1 A's error, the run is earned. And 1 runner left on. At the end of 7.5, Cincinnati 4, Oakland 4.
Hey! Where you going here? Stop picking up trees that soon disappear. Not putting tomorrow together today. What you doing today? Do you feel you wasting your time? You gotta go on, get out. Join me, baby, today. Gotta be the Navy today. Gonna join the Navy.
California, with Al Michaels, this is Jim Simpson. This is the 5th game of the World Series. Oakland leads 3 games to 1, and this is just like all the rest. Apparently, it will be decided by 1 run as the first 4 words. Al?
The number 2 batter, Matty Alou, leads off and takes a strike. In the bottom of the 8th inning, it'll be Alou, Rudy, and Hegan to face Clay Carroll. Ross Grimsley throwing in the Cincinnati bullpen. Carroll into his lineup, and the strike 1 pitch on the way is outside, ball 1, 1-1. So Carroll and Fingers, pitchers of record, just as it was last night. 1-1 on the way, misses outside, fastball spinning away, ball 2, 2-1. Alou 0 for 3. He is 1 for 16 in the series. 2-1 on the way. Is chopped on the ground slowly right side. Perez falls down, puts the Carroll covering just in time. Confusion on the part of the Reds. Perez didn't know whether to go back to first to cover there and let Morgan or Carroll take it, or whether to go over and pick it up. He hesitated, then continued on, and slipped and fell down, and from his stomach through the Carroll, a perfect throw, and Clay's right foot on the bag just ahead of Alou going in. 1 away. Rudy the batter. We've seen more guys fall down on the grass in this series, but that's understandable because of all the rain the field took, including the rain out we had on Tuesday night. That was the 10th straight day of rain in the Bay Area. So it's still slippery. It's muddy. Rudy is the batter. Struck out in the first, hit by a pitch in the third, struck out in the fifth. 0 for 2 today, 5 for 17 in the World Series. Right-hand batter with a very close stance. He takes outside, ball 1. For one of the very few times today, there's no activity in either bullpen at the moment. Reds 4, A's 4. 1 out and the base is empty. The next pitch for strike, and they got even. 1-1. On deck is Mike Hegan. Carroll rocks to his motion, back to the plate, slider, slung on and missed, 1-2. When the Reds come up in the ninth, they are due to send up Geronimo, the 7-hitter, then Carroll, who is batting in the 8th spot, and Concepcion hitting in the 9th spot. Jack Billingham starts to throw in the bullpen for the Reds. 1-2 on the way, missing outside, 2-2. Billingham due to be the starter if we go to Game 7 on Sunday. Carroll lines a 2-2 to Rudy. Breaking pitch is very high in the air to left center field. It's deep but very playable. Rose is there, calling, makes the catch. 2 down in the 8th inning. Rudy getting good work, but just getting under it a bit. Mike Hegan up for the first time in the game. Went in defensively for Epstein in the 7th inning. Epstein was 0 for 2 today and 0 for 12 in the series. Mike Hegan hit .329 during the year. Had 1 home run, 5 runs batted in. Left-handed batter. Carroll's first pitch misses low, ball 1. Hegan is 0 for 3 in the World Series. 2 out, bases empty, game tied in the 8th. Carroll back to the plate, in for a strike, 1-1. Carroll, born in Clanton, Alabama, makes his home in Bradenton, Florida. Rocks to his motion, deals 1-1, breaking pitch, grounded for his second, fielded by Morgan as he ranges to his right, throws, not in time. Hegan beats it out. So the A's have the go-ahead run on base with 2 down as Mike Hegan beats out an infield roller. Very close play at first base. Ando the batter. Salas slide out, walk, grounded out. 0 for 2. Ando 3 for 17 in the series. Good power. Outfield around toward left. Menke will back at third as Carroll deals the fastball up high. Ball 1. 1-0. Cincinnati 4. Oakland 4. 2 down. Keegan at first base in the 8th. Carroll set. A glance at the runner and a pitch on the way is lined into center field for a base hit. Mike Keegan around second. On his way to third, and the throw comes into Morgan at second. So the A's with a go-ahead run at third. Hendrick being called back. Let's see if they send up Mincher, the left-handed batter. Yep, that's who it'll be. It's going to be Menke batting for Hendrick. So Don Menke, one of last night's heroes, hit the first pitch from Carroll last night out into right center for a base hit that tied the game in the ninth inning, and then Mongrell, the base hit that won it. And Menke and Morgan visit Carroll at the mound as Don Menke gets set to come up for the second time in the World Series. The A's have gotten enormous strength, value from their bench in the regular season. And, of course, here in the World Series today, another example, Gonzalo Marquez came off the bench in the fourth inning. A base hit that drove in at that point the run that looked like it might be the difference until the Reds tied the game in the eighth inning. Sparky Anderson is going to the mound, walking very slowly. Killingham and Grimsley in the bullpen. Anderson's got to figure if he wants to bring Grimsley in here, will the A's then go to the bench and perhaps send up Dave Duncan or another right-handed batter? So while Sparky contemplates, we'll pause 30 seconds for station identification.
Ever find yourself locked in, so to speak, out of touch with what's happening in the world around you? There's a way to unlock that door and at the same time voice your opinions on the problems which concern you. The general election is coming up in November, and that's the time when your voice, the voice of the voter, should be heard. Don't blow your chance. Think about the election now. Then when November rolls around, you'll have the key to unlock the door and make yourself heard.
Sparky Anderson has decided that he would rather have Ross Grimsley pitch to Angel Mongrell and to have Clay Carroll face Don Menke. That's what's happened as Grimsley has been waved in from the bullpen. And, of course, now Dick Williams with the option of going to the bench again, and he has exercised it as Angel Mongrell, who delivered the game-winning hit last night, will come on to face Grimsley. So Carroll has to come out here in the eighth inning after yielding an infield hit to Egan, a base hit to Bando. The game tied 4-4 in the eighth. Grimsley loosening up, and Mongrell will bat for Menke, who is announced as the hitter for Hendrick. And the A's with a very deep bench. You know, Jim, the Reds, of course, in the National League playoffs against the Pirates, and one of the things much discussed about Pittsburgh this year was their great bench. The fact they had so many fellas with over 100 hits this year, total of 9. And it seemed like everybody, including those on the bench, hit 300. But the A's bench has been most impressive, extremely impressive. They have all the A's pitchers, so they have 17 others, and Dick Williams utilizes everybody.
That's right, Al. And if you talk to anybody on the A's bench, they don't look to anybody as a great pinch hitter. Mike Egan had a phenomenal average as a pinch hitter, but the Oakland A's are the type ball club that somehow fight back, somehow scratch back. They don't overwhelm you with the big innings. They don't jump way out in front of you, but they hang in there with their good pitching, and somehow, as we've seen in the World Series, they managed to win it. Last of the ninth, last of the eighth in the late innings in the playoffs. They went extra innings twice against Detroit. Lost one of them in 10 innings, won another in 11 innings. That's the kind of ball club they are, and the situation is now that we are in the last of the eighth inning. With Egan over at third base, and it was Jimmy Hustle that allowed him to beat out his infield hitter. Yep, Bando last to single left field. Egan going on to third base, and with 2 outs, there's now Grimsley coming in. And, of course, Oakland leading 3-1. Should they win this, the 4-4 tie now, it's all over. And the 7, 8, 9 batters are coming up in the ninth. So right now, it's all even. But Grimsley scheduled to pitch tomorrow. Now must pitch today. And what a spot they put him in.
Angel Mongrell, pinch hitter, to 246 during the regular season, 5 home runs, 32 runs batted in. Ross Grimsley, second appearance in the series, started Sunday's game, worked 5 innings, gave up 2 runs, 6 hits. Egan at third, Bando first, 2 down, game tied in the eighth. Grimsley sets and delivers the pitch up high ball 1, 1-0. Gene Tenace on deck. Jack Dillingham throwing in the Reds pen. No activity in the A's pen. Now outfield is Shea toward right. Menke even with a bag at third. Grimsley back to the plate. First strike in the count even. 1-1. Each club now is 6 hits. 4-6-0 for the Reds. 4-6-1 for the A's. Grimsley at the belt, checks the runners, deals 1-1, and the pitch is grounded to Morgan at second. Go up with it, throws to first, and the side retires. So Grimsley gets the job done. Mondale grounds out, and the A's lead the go-ahead run to third. No runs, 2 hits, 2 runners left. The Reds come up with the ninth with the score. Cincinnati 4, Oakland 4.
The choice is yours. You can't change the world, and you can cut down with drugs. If you're thinking about drugs, think about this. What do you do when the music stops? Where are you then? Where are you then? When you drop full blown on all the mountains. Where are you then, my friend? What do you see when your pupils contract? When you're out in the alley at the Orlac, and you're not quite whole, and the straight ball's intact. Where are you then, my friend? You can choose to change the world, but for that, you need your head straight and in the right place. If you choose drugs instead, where are we then, my friend? Where are we then?
Well, we go to the ninth inning. It is 4-4. To repeat again, the stage is set for what could be the final game of the 1972 World Series. Oakland leads 3-1. Cincinnati is trying to battle back and go back to Cincinnati, which they would tomorrow. Already, Sparky Anderson has been forced to change his pitching plans. While Grimsley coming on in relief today, he is the scheduled opening pitcher tomorrow. And Billingham, should it get to Sunday, has been working out. Molly Fingers in. They've asked to see the ball. It'll be the 7, 8, 9 batters. And, of course, we have a new center fielder. And Angel Mandel is gone to center field. Ninth inning, Geronimo steps in. Fingers looks back as one of the umpires down the right field line, Frank Umon, is walking slowly toward the line. And now Geronimo says he's ready, and here's the game, and here's out.
Bayside Geronimo swings and grounds it into right field. The first pitch is a base hit, and the Reds have the potential winning run on base. So Bayside Geronimo, a single to right. Ross Grimsley is now coming up, starts to come up. McRae is coming out of the dugout. And let's see if Grimsley will bat and then McRae for Concepcion, or whether McRae will come up for Grimsley. They're going to let Grimsley hit, and McRae is down on deck. So Grimsley obviously up there to bunt. Left-hand batter waiting. Handle ready to strike. Grimsley punts in the air, and Fingers lets it drop. Throws to first, and it pulls Kubiak off first base. They get the out, though, but down to second goes Geronimo. So Fingers thought he'd be cute and get perhaps a double play, and it cost him. He almost threw the ball away. Kubiak, a great play to lunge and grab it, and then tag Grimsley going by. Geronimo hung out to dry between first and second, was able to get to second. So it looks like a break for the A's turns into a break for the Reds. Play goes 1-4, and the Reds have the go-ahead run at second. Now, let's see. Will it be Concepcion? Yep. He's going to come up and bat for himself. He's sitting in the 9 spot. Rose will then be on deck. A's get busy in the bullpen again. Left-hander Dave Hamilton, who's been up and throwing about 30 times in the World Series, but has yet to appear, and right-hander Bob Locker. Dave Concepcion flied out as a pinch hitter in the 7th inning. Right-hand batter, 2 for 6 in the series. Pitch on the way is way outside and backhanded by Tenace, ball 1. Geronimo at second base, 1 out in the 9th inning. When the A's bat in the bottom of the 9th, they're due to send up Tenace, Kubiak, and Fingers. Raleigh back to the plate, outside, and the count goes to 2-0. Bando goes to the mound. Fingers normally a short man in relief. He's pitched in every game. This is the third day in a row he's pitched. Dick Williams will go to the mound. Tenace and Bando joining the conference with fingers.
I don't think there's any question now that he has lost his stuff. I think it's the question of, hey, Raleigh, calm down. You know you made a bad move there. You had the man at second. You had an easy play at first. You barely did get the man at first. The sacrifice bunt worked in an odd way. Just calm down. Take it easy. It's 2-0. You're facing right-handed batter.
Williams back to the dugout. Concepcion, after checking with Grammis, waiting at the plate. Fingers is set. A glance at second, and the 2-0 pitch on the way is grounded foul outside third. 2-1. The Reds and the A's in Game 5. Oakland leading 3-1. The Reds trying to stay alive. Crowd today, 49,410. Third day in a row, same figure. Here's the 2-1 pitch on the way. Swung on a ground ball, fielded by Bando at third, but he drops it, then picks it up, goes in the dirt. Egan comes off first. Concepcion is safe and falls down. Geronimo has to stop and remain at second base, and the Reds have 2 on with 1 out. Bando short hopped the ball, then juggled it. It rolled behind him. He recovered through low in the dirt, and Keegan had to come off the bag, his foot off first base as Concepcion went by. They will give Bando an error, E5. So the Reds have runners at first and second with 1 out, and Pete Rose the batter. He's homered, singled, grounded out, flied out. Bando in shallow at third. Rose, switch hitter, batting left-handed. Fingers to the plate, and Rose takes low and inside. Ball 1. 1-0. Great airline drama going on right now. The Reds know they're going back to Cincinnati, and the Reds fans know they're going back, but nobody else in this park covering the World Series knows where they're going tonight. 1-0 pitch on the way is up high, ball 2. 350 media representatives, most of whom are planning to go back to Cincinnati for Game 6, but they don't know where they're going until this one's over, including Jim Simpson. The stretch, here's the 2-0 to Rose. He swings, lifts his foul. Back of third, second deck out of play. 2-1. Rose today, facing Hunter, hit the first pitch of the game for a home run. Then Tenace, a 3-run homer in the second. Reds battling from behind, caught the A's and the A's. Pitch to Rose, he chops his foul, and the count is 2-2. On deck is Morgan. Geronimo at second, Concepcion at first. 1 out in the 9th inning, Reds 4, Oakland 4. Hamilton and Locker in the A's pen. Nobody in the Reds pen. Fingers checking the stretch. The 2-2 pitch to Rose is a line drive base hit in the center field. On ball charges, Geronimo around third, coming home, he scores down to third. Concepcion Rose dives into second, and the Reds have the lead. Pete Rose, a single to center, 1-run batted in. Geronimo scores, Concepcion to third, and Rose to second on the throw. It is 5-4 Cincinnati. So Pete Rose picks up his third hit of the game. He entered the game 1 for 15. Dick Williams goes to the mound. Morgan will be the batter. He has the left-hander Hamilton in the bullpen, and Hamilton will come on. So the Reds, on the brink of extinction in the 72 series, in the 8th inning, tie it. In the 9th inning, take the lead. It is 5-4 Cincinnati. And Dave Hamilton, who has been up and throwing in every game at least twice, finally gets to appear in the World Series.
I told you, when they come to mark against the Oakland A, should they lose this ball game, it all started with Geronimo let off with a first pitch line drive single to right. But then when he was trying to be punted along by the pitcher Grimsley, the ball was popped up in the air. Now what Fingers tried to do was to let it hit in front of him and go to second and then come back to first. He let it hit second, but Geronimo had not reached second, nor was anywhere close. They still could have thrown to second. But Fingers elected instead to throw to first base. And it was just in time there, but the sacrifice bunt that Grimsley set out to execute did work after all, in rather bizarre fashion. And then when Bando had a problem and threw low and drew Egan off the first base bag. That's what men at first and second, of course, and then, of course, Rose has come on, and he has driven in another run here, and he is 3 for 5 today, and Pete Rose, who had a little rough going, 1 for 15 before today, has had 3 base hits today, including a home run, in 5 times at bat. And the other 2 times, there was a good fine play by Capitas at shortstop to get him in the 5th, and he drove Rudy very deep in the 7th. So Rose has really been swinging the bat, as the Reds have been swinging near extinction, help me. They would be extinct in the 1972 World Series. 3 games to 1, the infield comes in, and we can remember that in yesterday's ball game, the Cincinnati Reds came up with 2 in the 8th inning, but lo and behold, in the bottom of the 9th, the A's came up with 2 runs. So we don't know what's going to happen, but at this moment, the Reds have a leg on everybody going back to Cincinnati in answer to your question about where does the meeting go.
Joe Morgan coming up to face Hamilton. Hamilton appearing for the first time in the series. He was 6-6 with a 2.94 earned run average during the regular season, which he started at Iowa in the American Association. Infield is in. Squeeze is a possibility. Concepcion down the line from third and Rose off second. And the pitch on the way to Morgan is very high. A fastball missing, 1-0. Again, when the A's come up in the bottom of the 9th, Tenace, Kubiak, and the pitcher's spot. They've already used Marquez, Mincher, and Manuel as pinch hitters. Hamilton back to the plate. Up high, ball 2, 2-0. On deck is Bobby Tolan. Joe Morgan is hitless in the World Series, but he's been a key man today. His speed has paid off twice. He's walked twice and scored twice. Here's the 2-0 on the way. Morgan swings. It's a high pop-up in the air to shallow right. Lou coming in, waiting in medium depth right field, makes the catch. Here comes Concepcion. Here's the throw. He is home. Double play. Concepcion tagging up on a medium depth fly ball to right field and cut down at home 9-2 on a double play to take the Reds out of the inning after they take the lead. Cincinnati settled for 1 run, 2 hits. There was 1 error, 1 runner left on. The Oakland A's come up in the bottom of the 9th with the score: Cincinnati 5, Oakland 4.
Yes, it is a small, small world. But that doesn't change the fact that over 1 billion children live in underdeveloped countries. These children are hungry, diseased, poverty-stricken, and have a small chance for education. With the help of UNICEF, the United Nations Children Fund, these children can be given a chance. The Canal Zone elementary schools are giving each of their students a pamphlet on UNICEF at their personal collection box. The children take these boxes home for their families' contributions they may wish to make. On Halloween Day, the boxes are returned to the schools. The nickels and dimes donated will be changed to building, medical, and school supplies, along with other necessary equipment. True, it is a small, small world, but you can help to make it better. Give generously to UNICEF.
Oakland leads in game 3 games to 1. Ross Grimsley, left-hander, warming up, can hold on. We go back to Cincinnati for game number 6 tomorrow afternoon. And, of course, there will be a change in the pitching plan to Sparky Anderson, who had intended to start Grimsley. Ryder Blue will start tomorrow if needed. But the man has been something else again for Oakland. 4 home runs in this World Series. 2 in the first game, 1 last night. A 3-run homer in this game. Gene Tenace is off the 9th inning for the Oakland A's. They trail 5-4. Here's out.
Gene Tenace homered in the 2nd, drew an intentional walk in the 4th, grounded out in the 7th, takes a fastball up high, ball 1. The Reds 5 runs, 8 hits and no errors. Oakland 4 runs, 6 hits and 2 errors. Kubiak on deck, then the pitcher's spot. Grimsley back to the plate, fastball outside, ball 2, 2-0. Jack Billingham in the Reds bullpen. Tenace out of the box, checking with Irv Noren, third base coach. Reds outfield deep and around toward left. Menke guarding the line to third. Grimsley winds. 2-0 pitch on the way. Tenace takes 5, ball 3. 3-0. Grimsley locks into his lineup, and the 3-0 pitch on the way. A strike on the outside corner. 3-1 count. The Reds tying the game in the 8th, taking the lead in the 9th, trying to hold on. Grimsley into his lineup, and the 3-1 pitch on the way. It's high, ball 4. So the A's have the tying run on base, and the winning run at the plate. Kubiak is coming up, and Dave Duncan has come out on deck. Kubiak, switch hitter, with a little chopper back to the mound, which Carroll fielded in the 7th, and Carroll slipped and fell, and Kubiak beat it out for a hit. Good bunter. Menke in on the grass at third. Kubiak around the bunt, misses for strike. 0-1. Duncan waiting next. After Duncan, then Campaneris. The A's trying to get Tenace to second base. Gene off to his lead at first, held by Perez. Grimsley set. Back to the plate he comes. Kubiak bunts in the air, and Perez makes the catch, is one away. So Kubiak, normally a good bunter, cannot deliver this time, and Dave Duncan comes up for the first time in the series. And you talk about a forgotten man. Here's a fellow who started the season as the #1 catcher. Gene Tenace then took over because he had the hot bat, and of course Tenace is becoming a national hero in this World Series. But keep in mind, Dave Duncan, 19 homers, 59 runs batted in. Sparky Anderson is going to the mound. He has Jack Billingham in the bullpen. Duncan is a right-handed batter. And Anderson wants the sinker ball specialist who performed so brilliantly the other night against the A's. So I don't know who's going to pitch for the Reds tomorrow if we have a 6th game. Might be Jim Simpson.
Now, Billingham, normally a starter, did relieve 5 times during the regular season, as Grimsley, normally a starter, did relieve a couple of times during the regular season. And we have seen now tomorrow's pitcher, as Al has said, and Sunday's list of pitchers come to the plate. Tying run is on at base, and of course, in the last of the 9th inning, you always look to the winning run at home plate because it would be all over. Cincinnati would have no more chances to score in 1972. As of this moment, though, the edge is in the favor of the Reds, who lead it 5-4 with 1 out, the tying run at first base, and Duncan, a right-handed pitcher, due up, walking back now to toss to Campaneris. Remember, Billingham did so well. They're going to have another runner. Blue Moon Odom. He was a pinch runner last night and scored a run, and he was a pinch hitter 28 times, a pinch runner 28 times during the regular season. Very fast at first base. Duncan has tossed to Campaneris. Billingham is completing his warm-up in the 5-4 ball game, the 5th being played in brilliant sunshine in Oakland, California. Billingham had quite a game here, down 2 games to none as they were. He worked better than 8 innings, gave up just 3 hits, struck out 7, walked 3, left in the 9th inning. Was just superb on Wednesday night. He continues to warm with Johnny Bench. And now, plate umpire Bob Engel says that's all. So here comes Dave Duncan with 1 out in the 9th, and Blue Moon Odom on at first base. Dave Duncan coming up, 19 home runs this year, hit .218. Not only is Sparky Anderson used tomorrow's scheduled pitcher, Sunday's scheduled pitcher, but yesterday's pitcher, Don Gullett, is throwing in the bullpen right now. Walker in the 8th pen. It is 5-4 Cincinnati. Blue Moon Odom, the pinch runner, the tying run at first. The winning run, Duncan at the plate. Right-hand batter, Billingham is set and delivers, and it's down low. Ball 1. Campaneris on deck. Odom at first base, held on by Perez. The outfield is deep and around toward left. Menke guards the line at third.
Billingham set. Back he comes, and the pitch is strike. A check swing. It's over anyway at the knees. 1-1. If there is a sixth game tomorrow in Cincinnati, airtime at 12:45 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. Billingham at the belt. Steals 1-1. Breaking pitch. A line drive. It's a fair ball. Down the left field line into the corner. Rose cuts it off. Odom goes to third. The throw goes to second. So the Oakland A's have the tying run at third base and the World Championship run at first base with one out in the bottom of the ninth inning, and Campaneris the batter. Duncan gets up off the bench, his first activity since the playoffs. And in his first World Series appearance, he singles to left down the line. Odom goes to third. Campaneris the batter, and he will check with Irv Norton, the third base coach. Campaneris 0 for 4. Grounded out, struck out, flied out, and struck out. He is 3 for 19 in the World Series.
We have one of the best runners in the American League, and certainly the best on the A's at the plate. We've got perhaps the fastest runner, Alan Lewis accepted, Blue Moon Odom at third base. We got a runner out. Odom at third. Duncan at first. The infield is playing in, except Concepcion, he's halfway at shortstop. Menke at the edge of the grass. Morgan back a couple of steps from the edge of the grass. The Reds holding the runner at first. Campaneris the batter, and the pitch on the way is a breaking pitch looped down the right field line, foul, dropping in the bullpen out of play. 0-1. Another one-run game. First game was 3-2, then it was 2-1, then it was 1-0, and then last night it was 3-2, and today is 5-4 Cincinnati at the moment. Tying run at third, winning run at first, one out. Billingham set. Back he comes to 1. The pitch is strike. A breaking pitch at the knees, and Campaneris upset about the call. The count 0-2. Matty Alou, left-hand batter, waiting on deck. Outfield around toward left. Campaneris waiting. Odom a short lead at third. Here's the stretch. Strike two pitch on the way. Popped in the air, right side of the infield. Morgan is calling and makes the catch in foul territory. Odom is coming home. They throw home, and he's out at home, and we go to Cincinnati. Odom tries to tag up and is thrown out at home as Joe Morgan makes the catch in foul ground. So the play goes F4-2, and the game ends on a double play. And boy, will they be second-guessing everything that happened in the ninth inning today. The big play by Fingers. Now Odom tags at third. I don't know whether Norrin sent him home or whether he came home on his own, but he is thrown out. Joe Morgan made a fine play in foul territory to make the catch and then spun around and was able to throw home in time to nail the runner. Morgan slipped as he got the throw away, but still a strike to bench, and Odom cut down as he slid into home. So the game ends on a double play, 4-2, and the Reds in a thriller beat the A's. So this, of course, has been a great World Series, all one-run games. The Reds stay alive. We go back to Cincinnati tomorrow. Final score today is the Reds 5 and the Oakland A's 4.
It's sure to see it anywhere, 'cause he can get it proper care. Be sure to use your zip code every day. Your zip code, your zip code. Use it every day. If you do it, you will see it on the plate. We hope that justice gets me, 'cause we try hard and that these are pictures in every way. Your zip code, you do it every day. If you do, baby, you will see it on its way.
Remember, mail moves the country, and zip code moves the nation.
Come to up perfectly when he said, what has gone before means nothing now. The ninth inning was it all. What happened in the ninth inning was borders on the incredible. It was a 4-4 ball game in the ninth inning. The Reds up. Geronimo single to right field. And then the attempted sacrifice bunt by Grimsley was popped up in the air. Instead of catching it, and actually Geronimo was off first base, Fingers let it bounce in front of him. Then instead of throwing to second base, as Geronimo then took off for second base, he threw to first base and barely got the runner there. So that sacrifice bunt did work. Then Bando had a chance on the ball, but he threw wide. But it was not an unearned run because Pete Rose got his third hit of the day and cleanly drove in Geronimo from second base.